Hello, I am Daniel Bloodworth. We are Easy Allies, and this is the Easy Allies podcast. Huber.
Yeah.
How you been?
Good. No, I'm just rattled. I think we had the most intense discussion about who is more iconic, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine or Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator.
Oh, wow.
Let Damiani decide.
I'm not going to color anyone's... Yeah, I don't want to say what I think or what anyone else thinks, but between those two, it's very intense.
It got very intense.
What do you think, Damiani?
Jeez. I think the problem is Arnold's reprisal of the role hasn't been as strong.
Yep.
Going it has
anything to do with
diminished.
this question.
I do feel like at this point, there's one really bad or arguably really bad Wolverine film, but he's still good as Wolverine in it. It's not. It's Whereas
that has absolutely nothing to do with what the question was. It's a more iconic
so
representation.
I do think because of that, I would have to give the nod currently to Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but it's very close.
It is
close. Very close.
Yeah,
Blood came in with the actual real one, Damiani. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. That's pretty iconic.
Yeah, that's pretty iconic.
What about your precious Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Doesn't that tarnish it?
And the last one.
I think one of the biggest factors is the fact that you're talking about roles that were built around these men.
Yeah.
Specifically. So it's when you have somebody stepping into a role that existed 30, 40 years before him.
Yeah.
A little different.
You're right.
A little different.
You're right. That's a good take.
All right. Don's in the control room making this all happen. Hey, Don.
Hello.
Show yourself.
You want me to show me? Okay. I thought you
And Gabby's back there, too.
Yes.
Gabby dies twice.
What?
We've been playing Sekiro.
Okay. Friends, we're here to talk about what's new, what's news, and what we've been playing. Very games-focused episode this week. This is July's crazy week. There's so many things. They're like, I want to get to that. I want to get to that. And they just didn't happen. Even one of the things that Huber was playing, Flintlock, was like, oh, I'm going to put some time into Flintlock before the podcast. So I have my side of the story, too. And it was like, nope, I spent all my time on Bo. But good stuff there. Even our news mostly is just game announcents. So, but yeah, this week.
Just game announcements.
Yeah, that's the best.
Only game announcements.
I'm just saying, it's not these big.
Good.
Game Pass
Good.
nonsense. All
people
that,
didn't get fired or prices didn't raise.
People did get
Good.
fired.
I'm sure they did.
Fuck.
NetherRealm Studio laid off their mobile division. So
yeah, I did see that today.
Wow.
I did see that.
All right.
But yeah, this week we're talking about Emio, which we got a tease of last week. The new Orcs Must Die.
Somebody call Jones. Get him on the phone right now.
Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus, which I played. Flintlock, which Huber played. Kunitsu-Gami, which Huber played.
Ooh.
And Damiani's already getting in there on Nintendo World Championships.
That's right.
NES edition. And then also do some quickies on stuff that I played while I was out.
Sweet.
Getting through those backlogs, stuff I've been meaning to play. But best way to start a podcast, Emio. So yeah, we got this teaser last week.
Is this the box head one?
Yeah, the baghead.
Paper baghead?
The paper baghead.
Yep.
We weren't sure what the heck this thing was.
Yeah.
The internet was going nuts trying to it's Bloober Team or something like that. I thought maybe, horror and Nintendo, maybe it's this Fatal Frame coming back or whatever. Nobody guessed it. Nobody was right.
I'm going to say something.
Okay.
At some point before this announcement, I was lying in bed thinking about it for just a few minutes, and I'm like, it's probably Famicom Detective Club or whatever it's called. I was like, you know what? It's probably that. Watch. It's going to be something because I was like, what thematically do they have? And they just revived it. And I don't know why. I didn't even play those games. I know nothing. It just popped into my head.
Okay.
And so I don't usually do this, but I'm saying it. I thought of it at least. I didn't post it on Twitter or anything.
I believe you. That happens,
at least
dude.
the idea entered my head. I was like, it probably is this, right?
Right. Yeah.
Count
so
it, dude. Damiani knew. Count
the
it.
first new Famicom Detective Club game in 35 years. It's the only thing that we've had in between were those remakes that came out 2021.
Jeez.
Those remakes were so awesome. Isla and I got to play those. And then I played after that, too. They were so good.
And yeah, the full title is Emio, the Smiling Man, and it's out next month, August 29th.
Jeez.
Nintendo.
That's good for that. That did not need to like have any kind of like significant lead time.
Yeah.
When it's that type of game.
Yeah, and
Makes
so
sense.
we got this video with Yoshio Sakamoto talking about it. He also oversees the Metroid series, if you don't know that, for context.
Sakamoto. Forgot about that.
Clutch.
And so he was talking about just like the original concept back on the NES version, saying, it's designed to be like a murder mystery that
Love that.
you progress and you solve.
Judge eyes.
Right. And he confirmed that working on those remakes is when he was like, you know what? We should maybe do another one of these.
Sick.
Let's bring it back.
Switch 2 launch game?
No. Well, I mean, it will probably be eventually
next
on Switch 2 somehow.
Okay.
You can get it, but I don't know if it'll need to be a launch game or anything like that.
True.
So it's kind of like goes around. There's like this urban legend
Love urban legends.
that they've come up with, where like there's this guy Emio who offers crying girls a paper bag with a smile drawn on it in exchange for their life.
Why would
What?
any girl take that deal?
Yeah, what?
I was trying to figure out if there. Yeah, I was like looking through. I was like, is there something else I'm missing here?
Yeah, like, wait, what?
Well, yeah, why would you do that?
But
Yeah, it sounds like a good deal. Sure. I need the paper bag.
It's like I'm just gonna go down to the market on the corner and get a bag myself. Like,
and then this detective agency tries to solve this murder
Nice.
that basically resembles the rumors, and there also resembles other murders. I think I have a bigger description here too. But before we get to that, just watching through the Sakamoto video, like it's really crazy, just like how passionate he is about it. And he's like, we're gonna make this thing in a ways that we couldn't way back in the 8-bit days.
so cool. This
And-
is some of my favorite stuff, Blood. Just like when the actual creator gets to revisit a game decades later, or a series, and just use everything they've learned and technology and everything to improve it.
He actually threw this in there. The ending may be divisive for some people.
Okay. I feel like a lot of murder mysteries are divisive, Horror is the most divisive genre that there has ever been, and that usually hinges on the endings.
Yeah.
So
And he talked about too, just kind of having that flow where it's like you think one thing early on, and then as you get to know more, like it starts going in different directions and all of that. I don't know, Damiani, you said you never got to play the Famicom Detective Club games, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not surprised they're keeping this going because they did those remakes. It felt like they had some kind of idea for a new one at some point, at least.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, it sounds like the point was when they were making these, but yeah.
yeah, but also like Sakamoto, he commands a bit of respect over there. So if he has a project he wants to work on, they're probably going to greenlight it. And I feel like this is more the appropriate avenue to explore, his narrative skills. Maybe not so much like in Metroid, perhaps, but like this is definitely the place to, where he can shine, it seems like. And, it seems like the people who've played these generally like them. I saw some people on social media asking about, if I like this, well, I like this game, because, people were just speculating about this when it was revealed what it was. People are still interested in wanting to check it out and going back now and checking out the 2 re-releases. And I saw, people asking what they're comparable to. And like, I'm kind of curious, what people think, because honestly, there's like kind of like just like visual novels, right? They're not like
Maybe
pointing-
in some degree, but
they're
it feels like, kind of more on the level of like Phoenix Wright or something, to where like.
So it is like that? Because I saw people on social media saying it's not like Phoenix Wright.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I wasn't sure. I was confused. So I'm not entirely sure which it is, but it sounds like people who've played it say, even if you do like Phoenix Wright, you'll probably like this, even though they're not exactly the same.
I don't know
You're
what
still
I'm
probably
talking
going to
about,
enjoy
but
this.
it seems like it's a visual novel cross adventure game.
Yeah,
just has more
right.
adventure stuff.
They're visual novels
you know?
for sure, but they have like a lot more choices and paths, and you do collect like clues and testimony from people, and you got to compare. You got to make sure, and you can get stuck basically a lot more. Like there were times when you can, there's various locations you can constantly be traveling to.
So you did get to play those, Don?
The remakes,
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, there's no way any of us played the original, so
Yeah,
we don't know Japanese or have Famicom or anything. I picked them up for my wife, so I like meant to go and play them sometime. And I know she played one, but she hasn't played the other, but I don't know which one. But yeah, from the press release, I got some quotes. Student has been found dead in a chilling fashion. His head.
Persona.
Yep.
His head covered with a paper bag with an eerie, smiling face drawn on it. The unsettling visage bears a striking resemblance to a recurring clue in a string of unsolved murders from 18 years ago,
Love unsolved murders.
as well as Emio, the Smiling Man, a killer of urban legend who is said to grant his victims a smile that will last forever.
So disturbing.
Jesus.
I'm so disturbed already.
Oh no.
And then their
Play this
gameplay.
game on a
Yeah.
warm summer night.
And then a description of the gameplay. Play the role of an assistant private investigator with Utsugi Detective Agency,
Love PIs.
where you're tasked with helping the police solve the crime. Along the way, scrutinize the clues and testimonies you gather for potential connections to the gruesome events of the past.
I love gruesome events of the past. Everything about this game, I love blood. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I got to play these remakes.
Right?
I missed them.
Yeah. I mean, I basically barely missed them. It's like they're there. They're on my Switch.
Yeah, shit.
Or if they're not on my Switch, they're easy to download, so.
Dang. Are they connected at all? Are you the same detectives?
I think the first two are
the
connected,
PI?
but I don't know that this one's really necessarily connected. Well, I think it's the same detective agency, maybe.
Okay.
So
yeah, from what I remember, they're the same agency
like,
in the first.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Judge eyes, dude. Let's go.
Benoit LeBlanc.
yeah. Any other thoughts, Damiani?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some people are hoping it was something else, but it's Nintendo. I didn't think it was gonna be like that dark of like a third-person psychological horror, bluer game. It's like I don't think. I mean
still
they are
pretty
making
dark.
one, but
Yeah.
but I meant the actual gameplay. Like people are getting really intense about it, being this survival horror type game, very psychological, Eternal Darkness was being thrown around. I'm like, I don't know about that. Seems a little I don't think we're going to get that from Nintendo again. And yeah, there was they weren't saying it was being developed like a third party studio or anything like that. So yeah, this definitely felt like it was, the marketing was definitely, very good at grabbing attention. For sure, and got people discussing it. And so for a game like this, I think that was probably one of the best things they could have done, I will say. That was pretty good job to whoever handled that. That was a very clever idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just curious to see more of it because, we've gotten the big talk with Sakamoto and we see some footage of the older games and there's just very small little snippets of what this looks like. And he talks about, being able to do stuff they couldn't do back in the day and working with animations and all that. So I'm curious just to
see it in motion.
Yeah, see what the style really looks like and how
Definitely.
much it's changed from those remakes.
Cool announcement, dude. Decades later,
Yeah.
and especially from a legendary creator. So very exciting.
All right, next up we got a Huber specialty. Orcs Must Die.
Orcs Must Die, dude.
Deathtrap.
Let's go. Only with Jones though.
Only with Jones.
Yeah, I can't play unless a Jones is next to me.
But you were really into this too. So, I
Orcs Must
remember
Die,
when
yeah.
the Stadia one or whatever came out. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have Stadia. Annoying. Yeah, so it's been a while. I haven't played since before that, dude. It's been that long.
Yeah.
I like Orcs Must Die and Dungeon Defenders and just general, tower defense. We'll get into that in a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Kunitsu-Gami, right?
Right.
Yeah, I just love these type of games. I love them just a smidgen less nowadays because I don't have any roommates anymore.
Sure, sure.
In college, my friend and I used to play tower defense so much. Pixel Junk Monsters and especially Dungeon Defenders was such a big one. They scream local co-op to me so much, Just that kind of never-ending grind, we'll do one more run, like take a little lunch break, do another run. So yeah, they just scream local co-op. But I'm glad this franchise is still kicking. I've been out of the loop for a while ever since the whole Stadia thing. But visually, this looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it looks like they're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, just like a little more chaos, which is funny because Orcs Must Die is pretty chaotic and comical, but this one looked even more like over the top, I guess. Like I don't remember the dude with the giant hammer, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So that's a new part.
Yeah.
You've got like different heroes and stuff to choose from. They had like a lot of jamming guitars and stuff with this. Like I said, just having a lot of fun with it.
Yep.
Seeing the body parts flying, they say it has 4-player co-op now.
Local. Split screen.
I don't know if it actually specifically,
we need to know
but it does say that it is designed to adjust to the number of players.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if it was actually specified whether they have local or not. Supporting 4 players.
That's a bear with a hammer, dude. Amazing. And I always love those phases in these types of games, tower defenses, the planning phase.
Right.
It's so fun. Just like setting up traps and then like seeing those pay off.
I think it just has co-op, 2-player, multiplayer.
2-player local probably.
Looks like.
That's cool.
I don't know if they've necessarily specified whether it's online
local,
or local, but
they
early
days,
like
we'll
4
see.
player is a new thing.
Yeah, the fact that they said early access next year, I mean, this thing
No,
is...
it says early. It's coming early next year. I don't think it said early access next year.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure, Blood? What say you, Don? The end of this trailer is coming up. What did it say? Coming early, you're right.
Early,
okay.
2025.
Wish list now, that's what got me.
That's what got you?
Okay.
Okay.
Early 2025. All right, it's coming up.
But yeah, so the heroes, war mages, each with unique weapons, abilities, traps, and personalities.
Each one has different traps. Cool. Yeah.
Each hero is tailored to different playstyles that can cooperate independently or work together with complementing heroes. There are roguelite progression systems.
Classic.
And their expanded level variety, which I think, we even from this trailer, you kind of get a sense of that it looks like there's kind of a lot more going on, and the way it doesn't feel like you're just in a funnel.
Yeah.
And then face intensifying waves of orcs and other hideous beasts with randomized buffs and debuffs.
Things get out of control in a hurry.
Randomized buffs and debuffs.
Yep.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, dude, it can get so nuts.
They impact your hero, traps, weapons, stats, and the levels themselves. Environmental factors like weather and time of day further influence enemies and your defensive options. As these buffs and debuffs stack, choose to push forward against the growing hordes or return to your castle hub to power up your hero, weapons, and traps before facing a formidable orc generals in a brutal boss fight.
Nice.
It's okay. I'll get 4 stacks of poison.
Yeah.
I had a few more. 5.
You do poison, I'll do burn, dude. Poison, burn.
Just give me. Let's hit the max. Let's just get there. We'll deal with this.
Heck
it's
yeah.
Good.
And then they talk about the physics with watch with joy as your traps hurt, crush, slice, and incinerate orcs in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, big fan of the gore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of blood.
So it says single player, online co-op, and cross-platform multiplayer.
Online only.
Yeah.
Harsh.
Or, it's a reveal. So they just might not have all the information out there yet either.
I just love me some local co-op.
PC and Xbox. And then...
no Stadia this time.
No Stadia. And then with this reveal, they also are doing just a big deep sale on all the previous games.
Perfect.
So if you want to catch up, if you want to scratch that itch right now,
nice. Just again, it's
big sale to the end of the month.
I definitely I don't like it as much as like a Rogue Legacy or a Hades or a Darkest Dungeon, but I will say that the addiction and the progression of one more is there with Orcs Must Die. Mm-hmm. It's so good. They're so much fun. Just feeling those upgrades, we'll do one more run and then just couple waves come, and you just feel yourself getting stronger. It's so much fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hubert, you've also been having a lot of fun with Kunitsu-Gami.
Dude!
Oh, here we go.
Been seeing a lot of good stuff now that people are able to talk about it more freely.
Dude, I love this game so much. This is one of my favorite games this year.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's one of the best games of the year. There's a fine line.
Just your
there,
favorite.
okay?
One of your favorites.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
that makes sense.
But it's really good. This game is so good. Okay. So if you don't know, basic premise is there's like no dialogue really. It's a lot of just like silent you have a silent protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
You have to escort this maiden down a mountain because the mountain has been defiled by this corruption. So you're trying to navigate down this mountain to get to this temple down there to like purge the defilement or whatever.
Okay.
So just these demons have like taken over this mountain. It is stage-based, level-based. So typical gameplay loop scenario, you'll do a level, and then in a level, it's tower defense. So you're kind of like tower defense in a way where it's like you're planning for this wave of demons that come at night. There's a day and a night cycle. So in the daytime in a level, you explore this little environment so you can find, troops that have been cocooned and you can release them and they'll join your army for that level. You can find little orbs that are kind of scattered around. There's just, again, you're just purging this defilement all over the map. Now the orbs, the economy in this game is so important because you have these orbs, and the orbs you can use to give your troops jobs. So there's a full job system.
Right, yeah.
Axe cutter, archer, spearman, sumo wrestler hype.
Wrestler.
My favorite, sumo wrestler.
All right.
But then also you use the orbs to generate her path, the maiden's path to the gate.
Okay.
So the whole point of a level, most of the time, is to get her from the start to the gate.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Get her to the gate. But at nighttime, she stops moving and the demons come. You have to defend, kill all the demons. Daytime comes, she starts moving again to the gate.
Got it. Okay.
So then there's also like some things hidden in the maps. The maps aren't too huge, but they do start to escalate as the game goes on, which I really appreciate. It starts out very straightforward, straight path, one way the demons come, things escalate. Demons start coming from like 5 different sides. You're like, holy shit, I gotta put troops here. I gotta put troops here. I gotta put troops here. I gotta watch here. The beauty of it too, for people that don't necessarily like tower defense, tower defense traditionally, sometimes I guess, I was just talking about dungeon defenders, but this is action based because your main character can attack.
Yeah.
You have little combos. You have bow and arrow you can get. You can heal your troops. You can heal yourself. You have a special move. You can swap those in and out. So it is very, you're not just setting everything up in the day and watching it unfold at night. It's like you're an active participant. You are the strongest character by far. Your villagers can defend and attack as well, but like you are very strong, very OP. So if you go down, it's it takes a while for you to respawn.
Got it.
So it can be pretty deadly. After you beat a level, there's usually a boss fight, which are out of control difficult sometimes. It's like, what is even going on here?
Now, are your troops that you've set up, do you take them into the boss fight too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, there's boss fights, which are pretty crazy. Some of them require you to pay attention a little bit and figure out some kind of weakness or weak point. I won't really go into spoilers about that, but like some of them, I died a couple times. I was like, what am I doing wrong here? And then it's like, oh, the environment has some stuff that I can use.
Okay.
Like, oh, there's some visual feedback on the boss that I didn't really notice. And now it's like, oh, maybe I should target that. So things like that, the bosses really test your skill a little more than the traditional levels. Traditional levels, though, still can be challenging. Again, there's a nice escalation of difficulty as it goes on, just with how many ways and how many types of demons there are. I was going hardcore axemen like I do, mass woodcutters, all of a sudden flying enemies started coming in.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, all right, I need some archers now. Or like my troops started to go down. So I was like, okay, maybe I need a healer, get a shaman in there.
You gotta tell me, what's a sumo wrestler good against?
Tank.
Yeah?
Attracts enemies. So
Nice.
yeah, he'll draw aggro. The sumo wrestler draws
There you
aggro,
go.
which
Perfect.
is so hype. What else? One of my other favorite parts of this game. So then in between the levels, as you're going down, you're setting up little base camps throughout.
Okay.
And at the base camp, you can rebuild destroyed structures. And that kind of harkens back. That reminds me, I keep getting like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag vibes, where it's like you upgrade your base, but then the upgrades take time. And the time is how many stages you beat. So it'll be like, this upgrade, this building will be done after 2 stages.
Got it,
This
yeah.
building, and then you get rewards. So you're encouraged to keep checking back in on your bases. A big fireworks will go off when you fully complete a base. It's really satisfying, that dopamine hit.
And I'm sure because, that's something that we didn't realize until a couple trailers in, is that a lot of this stuff was like built out of physical miniatures and scanned in.
cool.
And so I imagine some of those buildings look pretty neat.
Yeah, everything looks so cool. You can like walk in a little bit to the buildings, but there's not too many. There's like, she has her tent. You can talk to her, cycle in some skills. And then, there's just like little shrines or statues or like, some of them have a big building, but not too much stuff, but it does look, it's cozy for sure. There's not a ton of story. Like once in a while you'll get a cutscene, which I like, kind of building the stakes. Again, there's not a lot of words really, so it's just kind of like the maiden and your main character kind of like interacting, or there'll be some sick demon and they'll react. But what's really cool is you'll get these plaques that will be at your base camp, and the plaques are character models, which I love. I love little model viewers. You can like look at the demons you fought like really close up. So that stuff's cool. The little model, I'm sure those might have been models. But then also on the flip side, it'll give you lore about that creature.
Oh, nice.
Just enough
Yeah.
to add context, talking about demons that like have an insatiable hunger for human flesh, or like some shaman monk who was like some religious figure that like ended up becoming corrupt and extorting all the people. So like it'll give you just enough lore to add context to the demons, which I appreciate. Never gets in the way, This is very like it's been the perfect game. I'm watching my grandpa right now. It's been the perfect game to like every night I'll just be like, I'll do like 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah.
Like I'll do like 1 or 2 levels, fight a boss, go back to my base, call it a night. Like each level can take like 20 minutes. So
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
imagine
sizable.
It
Yeah.
could be a good while on
It's
those.
it's a little good while, because some of them too, you'll get the maiden to the end and it'll be like, okay, that was the first leg. Now do it a second leg. So like the levels start becoming longer. I don't want to spoil anything too, but like they do shake up the dynamics of the levels. It's not always the same, find the troops, get her to the end, done. It's like some of the other levels will be like, whoa, this is weird. Like now it's kind of a horde mode type, or like, I can use some environmental items that I couldn't use before. So they do manage to shake it up. And yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. I really love this game. The combat's fun. There's just so much to like. Your mind never stops, My ADHD mind gets like so fucking distracted all the time. So I love these games where I can just like constantly be thinking about, the next phase of something. I'm like, all right, let me get these troops here. Okay, daytime now. All right, nighttime. I'm just like always strategizing in my brain. So just so fun.
And then you're pretty good in ways into it, but you're not done yet, right?
My progress said 65% done.
Okay.
So very far, yeah. Really deep. And then eventually again you can upgrade. The upgrades are cool because you get like Masubi is the upgrade, and you can use that. You can respec anytime, very friendly.
Oh, good.
But you can upgrade each individual job, which will add health, damage,
Do
defense.
they look different? Does like a woodcutter get like more fancy garb and like
Their
a better axe?
mask and their weapon kind of has like a
Okay.
little bit, just a little bit.
Got
Nothing
it.
like crazy different, but a little bit. But then you can also eventually upgrade your own character. So then it was like, okay, a whole big skill wheel of things that I can upgrade for my character. So there's a lot to invest in, and then with just with upgrading your troops and yourself, and then also the base, there's just a lot to do in between each level, which I really appreciate. So it's a really fun game, really unique. You know, it obviously borrows from tower defense and, you know, a little bit of action adventure there because you're controlling your character, fighting and slashing all the enemies that come out of the gate. But yeah, I haven't really played a lot of things exactly like it. And it's so cool that it's from Capcom. So you know it's from like one of the best studios in the biz. So just a really, really cool, unique game that I'm very glad exists. Like, what an awesome little gift. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
Love it. I love it. Highly recommend.
Damiani, you were playing Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, I believe, right now, maybe.
That just dropped. I mean, today, yes, but it just it just dropped. It is not just NES remix, I will say. Like, it definitely like is in the same vein of like these really short, bite-sized challenges, but it's like the nuance. It's how many different ways you can go about completing them to get like the best time and the best ranking, and thinking you've got like a strategy. Like, it's so simple. Like, the first one's just like get the first mushroom from Super Mario Brothers 1. And it's like you start, like everything comes into play. So like I feel like you'll be satisfied even if you're just like a casual player who just like achieves it and then like moves on to the next one. But like for people who like really want to put like the skill ceiling just goes insanely high on every single one of these.
I bet the difference between A and S is like
there's
insane.
A plus, then S. There's like pluses, like and like fractions of seconds. Yeah, it does matter. On some of them, they're so short, it's like literally a wrong like input, slight like movement input. It's just it. Even if you didn't like get hit or miss the jump, just like one, like you have to be like maybe on some of them to get like the S rank, it's close to flawless. And even then, it's like you might not know some of the movement tricks, and some of them you definitely need to know some of these tricks to get like not just S. Like I will say to get S, it can be like maybe a little bit challenging if you don't have full knowledge of the game's mechanics. But if you're like vying for like some of like the best times, it's like, oh god, like yeah, you're really seeing some of like the crazy tech that people are like figuring out if you're watching like any streams or watching anyone's like replay. So what's really cool is like when it opens up, it has like a little like text intro that explains like the history of the Nintendo World Championships in like the 80s and 90s, and it's like back in the day there were these like championships. Now we bring this to you, and then like you pick like your icon and your tag, and the tag is so cool. Your tagline you pick, it's like the first category of stuff is mostly like NES generation specific, but then you can be like, how old's the NES? Or like, how many years ago did the NES come out? Could be like your tagline, or you could be like, I like retro game collecting, or like, I am like a frame perfect, inputter, or I'm a button masher expert, or whatever. Like, they have all these clever titles. Like, I read Nintendo Power. Like, they this is basically scratching the itch a little bit of what like Astro's Playroom did for PS5, like the free game, like celebrating kind of like Nintendo, but it's like it's only NES right now, and so it's like it's definitely appreciate that.
Are the world rankings sketched? Every single time I've ever played a video game with world rankings, everybody hacks it, so it'll be like they finished this in 0.03 seconds.
So you don't see anyone's rankings. Oh. So what it is you're competing against there's speed run mode, which is just you have a theoretical time you need to hit to get like a ranking S, and you get coins. You get coins for completion, your first time completion, and then for each letter grade you get higher, you get more coins. Coins are then spent to unlock the subsequent challenges in that game's category.
Oh, that's fun.
And when you get to the end is like a master challenge. So for example, The Legend of Zelda, they're all like micro challenges, like kill all the enemies on the screen or reach this door. The very final challenge is just beat the first dungeon. We're dropping you in the start. But what's funny is they drop you in the first room. So it's not like they determine the settings. So like you gotta like mess around, and be like, wait, what items? So, like, can I even use items? Like, so the first thing I did, like for me, is like the first door is locked. You can go left or right to get a key from an enemy, but anyone who's played that game to death knows you walk right out the entrance door and walk right back in. The front door, the first door unlocks. It's a glitch. It's been in there. But if you do that, a message comes up. It rewinds you back and goes, you can't leave the dungeon. It's like, oh my, okay. So like there are some things they won't allow you to do and they won't tell you. They'll like warn you and rewind you back to that spot saying you still incur time penalty. So if you die or whatever, like you like fall down to death, you died at like health or you fall into like a bottomless pit, it will rewind you to your previous safe spot. And you'll incur the time penalty. It's like golf. It's like a stroke penalty. And then you keep going. So they have like ambitious things like that. But that's just for like coins to buy that. And you can spend coins to buy new what are they called? Stickers, player icons, sorry. And as you complete challenges, you also get like pins. So it's kind of like Smash Brothers where you're getting like trophies and you can go look at them and you can display those as well. But then there's World Championship mode, which there's a series of 5 challenges. You do them individually. Don't do them back to back to back to back to back. There is a mode for that as well. And I don't know if you have to win all 5 of them to be the world champion or if there's just like champion in each individual one. But yeah, you can do them as many times each week to get the lowest time or best score in each of them, and then they will announce the results after Noah Huber. When you do this one, you have to connect to a server.
Great.
So you have to be online and connected to something on theirs. Because like when I was starting it up, it said now connecting. So I think there's server side stuff going on to make sure you're checking hackers. you're not doing, and it records your inputs too.
Yeah, I saw that in the trailer. They showed the inputs.
It displays your inputs. So if there's some shady stuff going on, they could probably check that.
So badass. Okay.
Yeah, so they definitely like know that they got their stuff there. And then the final
Damiani,
one,
dude, I need you to be the world's strongest, bro.
Strongest.
Yeah.
Oh, strongest. No, there's so, like the funny thing is like
World
playing game
dude.
like Kirby is like driving me insane because like I hate the platforming of Kirby. So like for some of these you gotta be like you have to know like the you have to be very like have the finesse, the touch,
right.
like how hard you hit the button to jump or like, and I don't know it that well. So like I'm just getting by with A ranks on Kirby, whereas like Zelda 1, I almost S ranked everything first time. And it's like I was like these are low. Like the funniest one was there was one of the ones I was like an oddball one. It was actually the only one I was like took me 3 or 4 times to get the S rank because I'm like, oh yeah, what like because you would never do this normally. It's like kill all the enemies on the screen that you would never kill all the enemies on the screen. I'm like, what's their pattern? And like, oh yeah, let me like practice this a bit. And now I've become like obsessed with that one. It's like, which one is it? I have it like open right here. It's like the Octorok. They showed it off in like I think the Treehouse Live. It's Octorok Onslaught. I think I have 1.98 seconds, but I was watching someone stream and they showed a French player who did it in 1.96. And like, so it's talking about like the advanced tech. So one of the things you can do, I mean, you have to be extremely precise with your movements, but when you have full health, Link shoots out a laser beam. You know about that? Like it's pretty, well-known knowledge. What you might not know is that the first hit is just the normal sword, and then the laser follows suit. So you can actually swing one direction with the physical sword swing, and then turn one of any other 3. He has 4 directional input. You can turn one of the other 3 directions and redirect the laser in another direction. It's like a very tight window to do that. So you can hit an enemy and then shoot the laser at another one, and then keep moving on. So like you are going to utilize that tech.
Min-max that damage.
Crazy.
No, that's if you're going for like the best times ever. You don't need to get you do not like S rank. I was like not even close to needing that tech to get like S rank on that one. So you don't need that. But this is gonna like push people. So it's like it's gonna be fun to see like how insane some of this stuff is. But they do have a classified info section for some of these challenges, which looks like an old fashioned NES manual, but it's original stuff.
Trailer, like
so for like the Zelda, it's the first dungeon from the Legend of Zelda. It actually shows you what I think is the optimal path. I'm like, oh, that's not in the manual. Like, and they're giving you tips and tricks for just this challenge. I'm like, oh, this is pretty nice. And they did it all in the graphics of like an NES manual. I'm like, this is pretty sick. So like, My biggest the thing I really want to see is them continue to support this and keep adding on more challenges would be amazing. And I can't wait for new editions of this with like other consoles. One thing I will say, a quick complaint before I talk about the last mode. By default, if you're playing in handheld mode, you are seeing side by side with like your personal best or your ghost, and like you can't get full screen. And it's like, wait, what? So like you can't, it's just not possible to get like a full screen unless you do an option. Even when you do the option to disable displaying your ghost, your personal best, there's still like a mortis around you that has all the data, like a bunch of data. So like you don't get a true full screen experience for any of this. So I will caution you, if you're playing on handheld, like I was doing most of the day, because that's how I had to play it, it was really tough to see some shit. So I'm like, I was doing all this on like the small screen, using like a quarter of maybe 30% of the screen for my actual screen in handheld mode. I really wish they would detect you're in handheld mode and work around that and give you a little bit of a leeway with that. So that's like my biggest gripe, is that there's no way to full screen it for just your challenge. But I also get for this last mode, survival mode, there's 3 modes. So speedrun, it's just you against no one else, get the best rank. World Championship challenges, which is a weekly thing where you can try as many times on any one of the, why is this doing this? Sorry, inputs are weird. Sorry, World Championships, where there's 5 challenges. You can do them as many times as you want, and once the week is up, they'll announce like the winners. And I don't know what you get, but if you win, I imagine you probably get a pin or a title or something. And then there's survival mode,
you get
which
a Switch too.
Yeah, you get the Switch too. Then there's survival mode, which they showed off in Treehouse Live, which is there's a silver division and gold division, which it records people's best attempts as ghost data. And so you're competing against their ghost data of their best attempts.
Got it.
So you get a random set of 7 players to go head to head against.
If I see Bloodworth's ghost in this, it's going to give me mental damage.
Okay, but it's also fun because even when you lose, you see you can kind of glance over and see people's strategies. Yep. So one of them, Super Mario Brothers 2, where it's a level where you got to get on the flying carpet and ride across. But like these enemies with those like tridents are like flying across the area. So, and Luigi handles like horribly. He's so floaty and annoying. So like it's already a challenge to deal with Luigi. So I'm doing it normally, and then someone's saved data. They've already probably done it to death and know how to play that game extremely well. They just start running and start jumping and know how to time their jumps to jump off all the incoming enemies going across the screen.
Right.
So they don't need the carpet to go across.
Right.
So all 7 of us or 7 of us are all like waiting for the bird on the carpet to swoop down so we can knock him off and go across. This dude's already running across and done before. I'm like, oh my God. But I was like, okay, now I know. So if you're wondering how to get like better times, or you're just not getting, like, for example, I still can't figure out how to get at the S rank on the very first Metroid challenge, which is just
gotta have blood do it.
Yeah. It's like, just get the first power up on the left. And I'm like, what am I not doing right? Like, what type of tech do I not know about? Like, is there like a special type of like half jump? Or I was like, I haven't seen a video of that yet. So I was like, I'm very curious about this. But the gold one, oh man, because gold it's randomized. So the silver and gold division challenges, you can see which 3 individual challenges you're gonna get ahead of time, but they're randomized. So for like someone like me, the one that they had, it was reach the flag in the first level of Super Mario Brothers 1 without using the warp pipe. Ride the carpet one to get a key and then open a door in Super Mario Bros. 2 and then defeat all the Octoroks on the screen. Now, I had the Octorok one locked down by that point. So I eventually just kept doing it until I got that challenge last, because it halves the pool each challenge. So only the top 4 advance in the first round. Then the top 2 advance to the last round, and it's you head-to-head in the last round. So I was like struggling because I kept getting the dumb Mario 2 one last, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so bad at this. Like, I need this first so I could just get top 4, and then I can be fine with Mario and Zelda. So you can kind of game it a bit, yeah. And yeah, they tell you you have like a week. They'll tell you they change at 4 a.m. each week. It seems. Okay. I guess I don't know if that's in my time or Pacific time. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, it's I do worry about like the longevity of it. because once there are a lot of challenges. I'll be honest. There's a lot, and if you're gonna like S all of them, it's probably gonna be a little bit challenging because you're probably not gonna be familiar with every single game on this list. So it will. I will say it's probably gonna take you a good amount of hours if you're really going for that, the completionist to unlock. You just have to get an A rank or better and everything, as far as I understand, to get all the pins. And then the player icons cost coins, and I think you might have to get a few S ranks. I don't know the math, but that might be where you need to get S ranks because you get a big coin bonus when you get the S rank on those challenges. And some of those player icons cost 1,000 coins, and it's like it can get pretty pricey. So there's definitely potential here. This is a pretty good concept, honestly. It's very fun. I'm actually surprised this wasn't like an NSO type game. Like,
right.
Like this actually would have made a lot of sense for NSO, but I also see like why. They know people would pay for this. They would actually buy this game. I just hope they do support it going forward, like it gets updates. I mean, knowing then they'll probably sell like a NES Edition 2, Volume 2 instead, and it's like, oh my gosh, come on. So I'd prefer it if it just got updates, and I can't wait for SNES. Like, the SNES one is going to be like, oh yeah, like that's the one I'm like, please do that one. I'm so stoked for like that one because that'll be like insane and so much fun.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see what they do with it, especially considering it's like, yeah, like you're saying, the historical side of them bringing up these tournaments, and I'm like, they didn't do a lot of these. It's like it wasn't like necessarily the biggest deal, other than the movie with the wizard.
What was that documentary that I liked?
Which one?
Where they had the Nintendo World Championship?
Oh.
What was that? Game On or something?
What was it? On Netflix, right?
Yeah,
or no,
yeah,
was
or Hulu? Anyway, there was just a documentary about it. So
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
There is a challenge in Mario 3 that's named after the wizard, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and they had a really great trailer for this originally, too, when they first brought it up.
And it's all first-party games, though. That's another thing.
Yeah,
so, like, if you're looking for, like, third-party games, that's one thing that... Because even the Nintendo World Championships sometimes did involve third-party games, like the old ones did. I mean, in the Wizard, they played Ninja Gaiden for the first round, so it's like, yeah. So,
yeah, I'm guessing it's probably with all the crazy, like, little sub-challenges and stuff like that. Yeah, they probably just wanted to stick to their own games to make it easier to come up with that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely is smart. For one final thought real quick. It's smart because they're going to make a lot of money off this because it's probably going to sell a good amount of copies, and it's only, $30? I also part of me wishes they would, be more emboldened to and integrate this into the existing like NSO catalog, this functionality, because we already have like rewind save states. If there were weekly challenges within your NSO catalog to earn coins,
I haven't messed with them a lot, but they do have those weird, like,
they have those
special
missions,
things.
but they're like, just play the game. It's just play the game and you get the points, or download this demo and try it. This would be a compromise because these aren't quite achievements. I mean, some of them are, on par with like maybe doing an achievement, but just weeklies or something like that, it would be kind of like a nice kind of concept to mix in with their like retro catalog. I feel like there's another step to take this like further and more potential with this concept, I believe.
But yeah, with everything that they're doing though, with like you're saying, syncing up ghosts for other people and the check-ins to try to avoid cheaters and stuff. Yeah, I can see there's probably a lot more going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
With all those 150 challenges or whatever too.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, it's fun. It's very quick, and like you can just get hooked on one for like over and over and over.
Yeah,
like, you can just like go down a rabbit hole in a single one if you really want. So yeah, this is like there's no rush on this too. I know. I mean, name of the game is rushing to complete the challenge to get the best ranking time for a ranking, but they're like this like. There's like, an era of like, don't spoil this game or rush through it to like, move on next thing. It's like, this is perfect. This is the perfect evergreen game, man. It's like, you could play this over the course of a year and be like, you still feel satisfied, like just coming back to it every so often, which is like,
just the Mario 3 ones, Damiani, I imagine not wanting to move on until I got S on all those.
Yeah.
just like one of my favorite games, a game I'm confident in as well with my abilities. And it's like, I'm so like, I get so wrapped up in some of those like challenges because it is like you were saying, Damiani, it's like the difference of like a half of a second. You're like, oh, I was right there. I can do it. I can do it this time. It's like I could be 1 second faster.
See, yeah. I'm curious about what all the last challenges are called legendary, and it's like all like complete like a stage of each game. I mean, I mean, it was fun to see like first attempt of both Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. I got like the S rank, and I was like, oh, okay. I really thought like you would make that a little bit tighter, but at the same time, a lot of people I think going into this, they have to make it like manageable. I think where the upper echelon will be is when you do the World Championships challenges each week, and like you think you're that good, and then like you see people, and they even tell you in the legendary thing, they're like, you might not want to like show people or something. It's like you want to keep like this, like, confidential or something. I'm like, what? Like, don't share your secrets. I was like, wait, what?
Oh my God.
And then they have like a classified info thing. I'm like, wait, but you're going to share your secrets, but not, you don't want us to share. I mean, maybe I misread it, but I'm pretty sure it said, don't share, keep your strategies confidential. I was like, what?
That's great.
It's like, I don't. So immediately, that's in response to that, I posted my clip on Twitter. Like, nope, here's how you do it.
Hell yeah.
Get out of here.
Metas, dude. Spread the metas.
Oh, there's a party mode that obviously I have not been able to try out yet because
that'd be good because I'm wondering what we're gonna do on group stream.
Yeah, party mode. When I boot it up real quick. Using just a single Nintendo Switch, you can host championships for up to 8 players. Playing on a large screen is recommended.
Hell yeah.
And then, you need 8 people. And then it's going to be, I think, the 8 screens side by side on there. And you're going to do the challenges. And I'm sure you could probably set up like elimination style ones where only the top X4 move on or whatever. Or it could just be like whoever gets the most points. I don't know. I haven't gone past like that. But yeah, it looks... I forgot it did have a multiplayer mode, so that's pretty good too for local.
That's great.
Local play.
Sick. You're gonna need all that training for when you play Bow Path of the Teal Lotus.
Bow hype.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, Bow and 9 Souls.
Yeah, I've been playing
Who
this
needs Hollow Knight? Who
for
needs
the past
it?
week.
yeah.
If we have Bow and 9 Souls,
keep telling yourself that.
This game is great, but it is also requires like unrelenting precision and a lot of the time.
So a good game for Gabby then.
Nice.
So we've got it running here if you're watching the video version, but yeah, it's got a really cool like hand-drawn art style. It's all based on like Japanese mythology. So like you've got the Kitsune in there, and you've got the Usagi clan, and you've got like a Tanuki guy in the middle of town, and you've got like these beetles that are like sumo wrestlers and stuff, and just like a lot of really cool characters and cool boss moments and things like that.
Yeah.
But then just like a lot of precision movements. And one of the they show this. Okay.
We wouldn't know, Blood, so don't spoil it.
Anyways, but one of the biggest things that this game emphasizes is actually just like staying airborne, which is kind of crazy. So kind of like Hollow Knight and like DuckTales or whatever, like when you swing your staff off of something,
DuckTales, okay. I was like, wait, the cane, got it, okay.
So, but like if you hit something, then like it, especially like if you hit something down where like it kind of gives you a little bit of a lift.
Yeah.
But in this, not
like
only
Rogue Legacy spin kick.
Right. But in this, not only does it give you a lift on its own, but whenever you hit something while you're in the air, it recharges your jump.
Essential.
Nice.
And your dash.
And the dash.
So there's a lot of that to where it's like you hit something, you jump, you dash, you hit something else, you jump,
It's
you
like
dash.
Cuphead.
Or
a little bit. The purple projectiles, yeah.
And there'll be parts too where there'll be, like very like narrow gaps. So it's like, no, do not jump here. Only dash, hit the next thing, dash, jump, and like figuring out like the exact like little bits of momentum.
Dude, it looks so good.
Sorry.
Blood. I'm so
It's
jealous.
more like that's actually more like the messenger, actually. Sorry.
Okay.
The messenger literally has so many stages where it's about maintaining, like, hitting stuff to keep yourself in the air and like keep that momentum going.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There's a part that's really early on where like you're going across a burning bridge and like you basically like you have to keep in the air the whole way across because or to get to like the next part where you can land safely.
Yeah.
And there's also a part later on that's like I think like literally inspired by like Smash Brothers Break the Targets.
Great.
So it's like and it's completely optional, but it's like you've got to get through like I think 5 different screens of these targets flying around back and forth. And there is no ground. It's just a spike pit below you. So as soon as you jump, the platform under you is gone.
Nice.
And you've got to figure out the exact like rhythm to hit everything.
Looks like it's got those Ori type like slingshot kind of aiming.
Yeah, it reminds me of a lot of Ori from watching.
Yeah, there's definitely some things that feel a lot like Ori in this. But yeah, there's a grapple thing that you get that it only works on certain objects. It's not like as omni-useful as like Ori. But yeah, so you can like you do the kind of like whatever way you're the opposite of, you're gonna slingshot out the other direction. And that's another thing too, where it's like, okay, I need to like get just under it, or I need to get to where it's gonna send me like more horizontal than vertical or whatever with those things.
Important question for how quickly I'm gonna put this at the top of my queue or not.
Yeah.
What was the most amount of times you died on a boss?
Oh, I mean, there are some bosses that I spent a lot of. There's a lot of deaths on for sure.
So it's tough.
It's a tough game.
You're gonna grind this out, basically.
It's not only is there like tough like bosses, but there are also like other sequences
that are just
where
tough.
Because they really like, and this is one of the things I like about the way that this is set up. And when you get to these later areas, it's like they really, really, really like put you to use all the skills.
I love that.
In your arsenal. It's like, no, here you have to dash, here you have to float, here you have to do this, and like put
That's my
the
favorite
whole
kind of design,
thing
Blood.
together.
I feel like the best Metroidvanias just celebrate that aspect. That I love when that happens.
Yeah, and there's one boss fight that's like all about
you
that.
use everything you have. Oh, that's so good. That's the best praise, Blood.
Yeah. Definitely. There's another thing with mechanics. So it does take a little bit of like the Estus flask thing, but you have a tea kettle, and there are multiple things that are going on with this tea kettle because
somebody called Sarah Knight.
So there is another thing later on. If you find there's these like clues and collectibles to upgrade your tea kettle in a certain way that'll make it a little bit more accessible. But like that's like very late game stuff.
Got it.
But the general way the tea kettle works is that when you hit an enemy, then it fills up a little bit of your tea kettle. And so, like, say, once it gets to 5, then you can take a sip to get, like, 1 pip back on your health bar.
Got it.
So they're like the little lotus leaves on the top.
Yeah.
But then there are also these Daruma. They're like the little round, like, they look like little doll guys with the there's like the red one is the kind of the basic one that like the Japanese little round doll, but there's a whole group of them that you get. So like one of them is just like called Chomper, and he's like a chain chomp, just flies across the screen and like bites everything on a line.
These are special moves?
Sort of.
Yeah.
But you need a little bit of tea to use them, right?
So you have to either use the tea to summon that ability or to replenish your health?
Right.
Oof.
Yeah. And so then there's another one that'll like put like a little group of thorn guys around you. There's another one that will like send a bunch of homing things out. There's like an ice one.
But you can recharge your tea throughout?
You recharge by hitting things.
So in a boss fight, you can, hit him a bunch, heal up, hit him a bunch, heal up.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you find the timing to do it. Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
But then here's the other thing. Going back to the air combo stuff, is there is a heat meter underneath of your tea kettle, and the longer that you are doing like hits in the air, the higher that flame gets. And so when it's at max, the tea kettle will start whistling.
Cool.
Oh.
And then when you use your Daruma, it's a powered up version.
Oh, sick.
And then there's a big like central town that you get to about a quarter of the way through the game. And there's a guy in there that sells those, but not only that, but if you bring him
next question.
ink, they start with one eye painted on. He'll paint on the second eye. So now their default is the second state.
Nice.
And there's a third state beyond that when you get to like the hot tea.
Nice. Yeah, how's the economy and the progression?
I think you're gonna like the economy because again, there is.
Dude, am I playing Bo tonight? Fuck.
You might.
Cobra Kai.
Dude, I'm only gonna watch one more.
Because you've got this town, and the town there's a bunch of different shops in there because there's also I think they're called onamori or something like that. They're these little charms, and so they work just like the badges in Hollow Knight. So this charm will like give you an extra thing of health, or this charm will like give you a free heal for like when you hit a certain number of enemies, or or will give you extra tea, or all of these different little badge things.
Yeah.
So you find those throughout the game, but then you need a badge holder, the charm holder.
Love that.
And so like a lot of the things that like you really want, they're like 500.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I can spend 500 to upgrade my tea kettle, or I can spend 500 on ramen with some other items and expand my life bar.
Huge.
Or I can spend 500 to get another charm.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things like that.
How do you increase your basic attack damage?
There is a forge.
That's the most important thing.
Okay.
All on the forge, dude. All on the forge.
And so the forge's assistant can help you with the first one, but then you have to go and you have to go find the blacksmith who's stuck in an area that's like later in the game.
Amazing.
And so you won't be able to upgrade again until that.
Dude,
So there's not a lot of upgrades on the basic attack damage.
So many good Metroidvanias this year, dude.
Yeah, it's
oh my goodness,
it's super good. I'm trying to think about what else. The map kind of made me think it was smaller than it actually is, because you kind of go through like a couple of introductory areas, and then you get to the town, and you're like, okay, there's a right area and there's a left area, and then I'll probably go to the north after that, right?
Yeah.
But then
it's like north.
There are actually
northeast,
like sub areas
northwest.
in those, each one of those.
Got it.
With some pretty interesting things.
Nice. Good. Another big part of these. Good NPCs.
The NPCs are great. Like,
awesome.
Yeah. Like, there's just like a bunch of like random guys around town that all have like really cool different ideas, and like there's like this spider guy who was like on the back of him. He's got like a musical instrument that is like his legs could play. Oh, that's another neat thing too. Instead of doing like the Banjo-Kazooie like kind of thing, different characters, when they talk, like there's an instrument that plays kind of over their speech.
Yeah.
So different Japanese instruments.
Fucking playing Bo tonight.
Yeah. Wedding is a wedding thing that's really great too. Whereas like you find like the bride, and you have to like do this sequence of things to like get the whole like bridal group.
So mysterious side quests.
And then you have to figure out where the groom's missing. So where's the groom? So you got to go down in the burrows.
Probably just
and find the groom.
Hanging out with his bros before he gets married.
Not quite. But yeah, no, it's a really, really cool game. Let me skim through my notes and see what else I might be forgetting.
Very hyped.
But yeah, it feels really good. It's got great music. It's got great visuals. It's got a lot of cool lore. Like your character is what they call a Tentai Hana. And basically like the gods, like when they cry, the tear like falls on a flower, and like and there's like this whole thing of like there's the flower, and then there's the animal that it's connected to, and so it's like you're a fox that's also a lotus, Yeah. And there's some other characters that kind of you meet up with as the story goes along.
Are the bosses creative? Are they unfair? Are they fun?
I wouldn't say they're unfair, but
they're tough.
They can be tough.
Are they
there
fun?
was one that I actually managed to get on the first try. I'm like, oh crap!
That feels so good.
Nice.
But like each time you die, you can just get right back to it, or is there like some backtracking?
There can be some backtracking. Okay. There are little shrines that you stop at, and that'll refill your health. And so sometimes there are like little additional checkpoints in.
Nice.
But a lot of the times you'll end up going all the way back to a shrine if you like fully die, lose all your health.
No, I know you
Sometimes the shrines will be right next to it, the boss, though.
That's good. I know you said you died on the some bosses a lot, Blood, but I know you. Mm-hmm. Known you for a long time. I know you can be weirdly stubborn on some bosses where you're like, no, I'm going to beat this instead of I'm going to go find some upgrades and come back. Did you run into situations like that?
There's not a lot of that in this game. I don't think I feel like it's pretty. And again, like we were saying with the economy, like you're always eyeing that next thing. Mm-hmm. So if I have a chance to like fast travel back to town, and there's some good fast travel points too. Nice. Or times when it's like I see a fast travel point over there, but I can't get to it because there's something in the way or something. So it's really nice that like generally you can fast travel back to town and get whatever upgrades you can afford at that point.
Yeah. Like could you go back to earlier places and grind for money to buy another upgrade, or it's not really like that?
I think it would be a hard game to grind with because generally enemies will give you like it's called foxfires, like these little blue flames. And so when you kill enemies, you'll get some of it, and like but then there'll also be like almost like Mario, like little coins of it that kind of show you a path of where to go, and you'll try to collect all of that. But then there'll also be like these like hidden like lantern guys with these big faces. And so you find like just like a little pocket in a part of a level, and you just like whack on that guy and you get a bunch of it.
Nice.
Or you'll find like a treasure chest and you'll get a big batch of foxfire, like 50 or 100 or whatever like that. And then bosses will give you a ton.
Yeah.
So really it's more about
you're
moving forward and exploring the environment.
Yeah. You can get like a little stronger if you're a little more thorough, but mostly when you get to a boss, it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think you start off with like 3 on your health and you get up to like 9. Nice. And then you can get like an extra one with one of the charms.
Nice. I'm just psyching myself
Or an extra one with the ramen.
The
you can get like a temporary ramen.
Yeah.
Put a Naruto next to your tea leaves.
Awesome.
Or Lotus
Yo,
leaves.
Naruto cross turtles, Damiani.
I saw that. Oh my god. It's real too. I thought it was fake at first. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Young Naruto too.
Insane.
Yeah.
Need that anime episode now, dude.
Oh my god. It's happening. Yeah, it's happening.
Dude, I want to see Shredder. Is there a picture of Shredder?
I only saw the cover image. Dude. I don't know if there's anything else.
Naruto
is this in a manga or something?
Yeah, manga thing.
Nice. Yeah.
Naruto themed Shredder. Dude, Blood, I'm really hyped on Bo, man.
Yeah, I like it.
On this.
And what's interesting too is that like a lot, like the abilities for the most part, they're not really outside of the box. And like part of me is like, oh, that's it's like that's kind of weird. It's like, oh, that's like all the stuff that I expect.
Yeah.
But again, it is about that feel and kind of putting them together. Like the one thing that I would say is like a little bit different is like rather than like just a wall jump, you can do like a wall roll where you just like roll up the wall, which is pretty cool.
Weird. That's sweet.
Yeah. But you have to watch out for that too because there'll be like spikes and stuff. So you got to kind of, again, know what you're doing and know when to use that stuff.
And last question, Blood. How did the movement feel? Because Damiani knows Prince of Persia: The Last Crown has some really good movement, mobility, and like we were saying earlier, that game really gives you the powers every once in a while. And when you get all your powers in that game and you start moving and using all of that stuff, it's one of the best feeling games out there.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
No, I mean, I think like you're saying, like with the precision, like it has to be, and like I think Ori is a good analog to how it feels to, especially when you get more powers, because again it's like at first you don't have much of anything, you don't even have a dash at the beginning, so as those things build, then it's just like one of those games that it feels better as you get along.
Love that.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
a cool
like a
game.
dash in a Metroidvania. Double jump air dash combo, best in the biz.
Right.
Sick.
But it's tough, and it's got places that will like push you.
All right, Blood, get ready for the 3 a.m. Slack messages
It's got those it's got quests too. So some of those things are optional.
Nice.
It's got something that Hollow Knight fans will definitely remember and recognize, and you'll be like, "You are not doing this to me again.
Hollow Knight.
Not making me do this."
Freaking Hollow Knight.
But I got it. I did it.
Whatever happened to it? Whatever happened to Hollow Knight?
It's there. You can go play it right now. Silk Song you're talking about. But yes.
Yes.
We've got more to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell on YouTube. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. Also, if you want to sponsor this podcast, put your name right here in this space. You can email us at info@easyallies.com or message us on Patreon, get me on a DM on Twitter, whatever, however it works for you. Get in touch. We'll get you the details for how to get that done. Okay, Heber.
Yo.
We got a turn I was not really expecting.
I know.
You're not really feeling Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn. I played a preview of the beginning of this game, only 4 or 5 hours or so, but I was digging what I played. But you played a lot more.
Yeah, my least favorite part about this job is talking about a game that I'm not really feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be swimming, which I was expecting. A lot of 7s out there.
Yeah. I think on a good day, you could swim in Flintlock. On a good day. When you're not buried by the cataclysmic wave of content,
Okay.
It's a little harder to put
Hard
up.
week.
Yeah, it's just a little harder to put up with swimming when there are so many good things to play, It's just a harder ask. So Flintlock takes place in, like, the Napoleonic era world, historical fiction.
Yeah, no, they had a name. It was like Powder Punk or something like that,
Powder
right?
Punk, yeah. There's like these gods, and you're like a sapper, basically. You like blow up things. You're all about gunpowder. It's a Souls light, so the story does really just drop you in and expects you to know a whole bunch, but there's a lot of it, where it's like just word salad type of thing going on. There's just so much. They're talking about things I don't know about. It's just that, like, everything about this game was just so hard to connect with. Usually I can connect with, the environment or the combat or the story and characters or a combination of those things. And I just couldn't connect with anything in this game. I just couldn't connect with the world, the lore, the combat. Like, the combat isn't bad, but it's not great. It's fine. It's serviceable. But then we get into this problem where it's like, all right, this is actually kind of like hard at some parts because it is a Souls light where it's like I did find myself actually like dying once in a while. And then it was like, that's when I started to turn on the game. I like died a few parts, had to run back through a bunch of enemies because like it is the Souls light where if you rest or die, enemies respawn and you have to go reclaim your souls.
Some of the areas that I was in, like, I was able to kind of like find like little shortcuts to just bypass these dudes.
Yeah, the shortcuts are pretty cool. You can like find little things where you can like zip over everyone because you have your little inky.
Yeah, I love the
character.
little triangle zips.
Yeah, the triangle zips are cool. A lot of dodging, a lot of parrying. There's Bloodborne in there too, where you have your flintlock pistol. Anytime they have an unblockable attack, you can shoot them and that'll stun them, Bloodborne style. Love that.
Nice.
There's also double jumping and air dashing, which I really appreciated. Everything is just so serviceable, but nothing really stood out or hooked me. I'd say one of the best mechanics in this entire game, actually, is the combo meter of... I don't even know what to call
How
it.
you bank your souls.
How you bank your souls, yeah. So... when you perform well in combat, you hit people, you dodge, you eliminate people, whatever.
And I think it even like gives you bonuses for like mixing it up more.
You mix it up, you get more bonus.
Yeah.
You can increase your soul multiplier, basically. So, you do a bunch of damage, that thing will rise, and it'll be like you're on the left, right? It'll be like, okay, you have 100 souls. but your combo meter is like plus 85%. So then if you bank it right then, instead of 100, you'll get 185. But if you get hit, you'll just get 100 and your entire multiplier will go down. So there are a lot of times where it's like you get through this intense fight, your soul multiplier is pretty high, your souls are pretty high, it's a good combo. It's like, okay, this could bank me a lot right now. Am I going to bank this or am I going to press on and see what's ahead? And it's like, oh, well, that enemy looks kind of intense. Should I like try to double down here? So like that stuff is so good.
Or maybe you'll get sniped by some dude you didn't see, right?
Exactly. And then you lose everything. And it's like, oh, okay, I could see like, dude, I could see like other Souls game adopting this. Like it's pretty neat. I would say the UI and just everything is so blah. You know, this is a game where you put down for a day or two and you come back and you're like, wait, what? What is all this? You know, there's just like this overwhelming amount of knowledge. There's like the tutorial section, which is like multi-tabs, like 50 things in the tutorial. I'm not even kidding. Like combat, exploration, upgrades. There's like 50 things, you know, with a combination of 50 things and word salad. It's like use your overshadow Enki abilities to, you know, just all these things where I'm like, I have to work too hard in this game, Blood. That was it. The game felt like work. Yeah. And it just wasn't good enough for me to want to work through it, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, I know there were some basic dudes where you had to kind of, like, you pretty much had to parry, like if they had a shield or something like that.
And everything feels fine. Like, you get your little, again, your little fox companion. He can, like, shoot enemies to build up their corruption gauge or whatever it was, and then when that fills up,
it's almost like a poise gauge kind of
basically,
thing.
Poise style. And then when that fills up, you can like smash their armor and like kind of rip it off them. It's actually really cool. And then
it's a good animation. It feels good.
Yeah. So and then there's little shops. You know, you have your currency upgrades. There's a couple side quests here and there.
I forget his name, but I really like the guy that was at your base camp.
Yes.
Your companion,
Adam Jensen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was him.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's like, it was hard for me to connect because it just drops you in and expects you to like just immediately like. I don't know. I feel like Souls games being so cryptic.
I'm curious if you get back to this like in a couple of weeks, if you just gonna turn around.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like Souls
because I didn't feel that overwhelmed by the stuff. It's like, I don't know everything that's going on, but I don't feel like I need to.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like, again, the Souls genre gave these studios this license to be like super cryptic and just like, they expect you to immediately be invested. Like, we are just dropped in with these characters and it's like, I don't care about any of these people. And like, people are dying. These characters have like this extreme bond, but it's like, I felt nothing really. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it, unfortunately.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get back to it later.
Crowded genre.
Yeah.
Very.
Definitely right now.
So
rough for this week with like a million games, and then also rough while like a lot of people are still working through Erdtree.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
You're gonna hop into another one right now?
I wonder if
even if you just
finished Erdtree, if I was a little less tolerant of Flintlock. It's pretty bad timing, honestly. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just played the best possible of the genre. That's not in a hyperbolic statement. That's true. You know.
Yeah.
The best possible. So, yeah, it's just I say it all the time. You know, I love difficulty. I love difficult games, but a difficult game needs to be an A+ for me to put up with that difficulty. Anything less than that, I don't have time. I don't have time to grind and die and repeat for anything less than greatness. So that's just my philosophy.
Dolmen, dude.
Yeah, I got to the Dolmen boss that was like the classic. Got to a Dolmen boss that was like a war of attrition, a 10-minute boss fight. If you make one mistake, you die and you have to do it again. And I was like, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I didn't get that deep into it, but there are definitely parts where it's like, okay, there's this side path with these dudes who are super hard.
Yeah.
Every one of them was super hard. And I was like, well, maybe I'll try to go down there. And at a certain point, I was like, no, I'm going to nope out of this. I'm going back to critical path for now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go where they tell me to go.
Totally. That happened to me. I went into some like alternate like fortress area. And it was just
it's not even like it's that out of the way or hidden or anything. It's just like, oh yeah, there's a path down there. It's like, okay, cool. What's over there? Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Next up, just some quickies. I don't have notes or anything for these, so like some of these, like I don't even know if I remember all too much about, but just things that I played while I was out. I played a lot of games to helping family, and then in the evenings I had a little bit of extra time. So, Hi-Fi Rush, Huber.
10 out of 10.
For Tango.
10 out of 10.
Finally got to play through that whole game.
Pour one out, dude.
Yeah.
Pour one out for Tango.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Every time I'm reminded. Why are you reminding me of this?
Because it was
Why are you
so
reminding me
good,
about
dude.
Tango, though,
it was
dude?
so good. This game is so good. It's
exactly.
insane.
It makes it worse. It
Yeah.
makes it worse that they have some of my favorite games ever made full stop, and they still got shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people listening to this at least know about Hi-Fi Rush by now, so I don't have to go deep into mechanics or anything like that. It is a game where it's like, even as much as I like it, I still, even at the end, felt like I'm kind of bad at it. It's the whole getting the rhythm right. And,
well, they're so friendly with the options, with the rhythm options and stuff.
Yeah, no, they do everything that they can. But I think it's not just it's the combination of the rhythm and the like Devil May Cry style memorize how these strings of combos.
Yeah,
it's like X Y X X X and an X X Y X hold X and like and so it's like I would latch on to some and it's like, wait, I can do that other thing, can't I? And then the parries and things like that. But it, like across the board, it's really great. It like runs super fluidly. Obviously, like the sound and all the stuff going on is so nice.
So nice.
And just such good feedback. Yeah. And Huber, like just those extra little loving nods there for like the little Evil Within bits and the little Tango snails.
Yep, the Tango snails, dude.
Did you ever end up like playing through the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Yep.
Because I wasn't sure, because I know you'd like had done a stream and then put it down for a bit.
Then I just played on my own. Yeah.
But and great characters there too.
I mean, I thought this was another franchise. I thought everyone thought that. Honestly,
yeah, well, so did they.
Everyone was like, dude, the birth of something special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal. What also was really special, I got to play through, Jusant.
Oh, I want to go back to this.
Yeah. Because I think you maybe played a little bit on a stream or whatever, but didn't actually play the full game.
Yeah, I never went back to it.
Yeah,
dang it was so good.
Don't nod hype, dude.
Yeah.
This is essentially like a rock climbing game, and there's lots of interesting little mechanics that you get into in that, and you've got your little cloud boy creature on your back, and just kind of going through this kind of ruined world where the
great world building.
The Jusant basically means like the tide going out, and you come across all these journals and things of people like learning to live with like less and less water, and they're like these old seashells that you pick up, and you kind of hear like what it was like in that space when there were still people living in it, and and there's just a bunch of really cool stuff as you get deeper in and get to different environments. And see different mechanics play out. It's one of those things where like you turn the lights off and you like get the headphones on and it gives you that like kind of magical sense of things. And it's not super long. I think I played through in like 2 or 3 nights.
Nice.
Yeah. Next up, kind of similar in terms of length, Dordogne. I don't know if you remember this. So this is it's got kind of like a watercolor aesthetic. I actually really like the way the look of it is, because
I remember this.
Even like like a lot of the 3D objects, it's almost like they took like a bunch of paper and like made a box out of it and then painted on the box.
God, it looks so crazy.
Yeah, and so you're playing as this woman who has her grandmother has just passed away.
Fuck.
But you got like a letter to like come and find something that's waiting for you at her house in Dordogne in France, and your dad is texting you like, you don't go there. Let the mover people clean out the place. Don't et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so like, and then as you start interacting, you have these flashbacks because something has happened where she is like blocked out like the memory of what happened when she stayed with her grandma for this summer when she was like 12 years old or something. Whoa. And so it's interesting because it's like so much of it is like just so cozy and so peaceful and like getting to know the grandma and just like.
And then
like,
it goes full Pan's Labyrinth.
No, it doesn't. But it's like it makes you like a little bit on edge of like what is going to happen, like what is going to be the incident, that like made like to like put these wedges in between, with the father and what's interesting too is there's just there's that time gap. So I think that's the present day is like 2004 and the time before was like 1984. And so like when you're texting your dad, it's like on an old phone with like a green screen or whatever. But you also like she even says something about it. You have the ability to like actually just like you can reply to his text or you can just ignore him and just like go about and do what you're gonna do.
Ghost him.
But some other things that it does are kind of remind me of Season. You remember Season beginning of last year?
Yep.
And so you get kind of like this little it's like a little book that you can fill out with.
I love a little book.
Like photos and stickers, and you can take like audio recordings of the environment.
Love that stuff.
And just really, it really is just kind of about like being in that space and discovering the story as it moves along.
Sure.
And again, this
looks like a delight, dude.
This is a night or two. This is like 4 or 5 hours, something like that.
Nice.
Yep.
Emotions.
Next one I got up to Rakugaki. Remember, I talked about it when I went to the first section of this game.
Yeah.
I played through the rest of this. This game is just such a vibe.
Looks dope.
This is like, it's because it really is focusing a lot on like the musical elements, similar to Hi-Fi Rush. It's like it doesn't play musically, but like you've got just like all these kind of like trance and industrial things. It's such a great game to just get into and just like vibe with, and get through these platforming sections and all of that, and the movement feels pretty good and everything. But man, like as I got deeper into this game, you can see some of it here in this trailer. It's like
Champions Road.
It's like Mario 3D World stuff. Like
Champions Road, Damiani.
You got spinning platforms and you got like things disappearing and blinking out on you and just figuring out how to get it all done.
Yo, shout out to all the devs making insane platforming sections out there. Just shout out the history of platforming. So good.
And so like
fun.
I really enjoyed like the way they ramped up their challenges, and then you used the graffiti to like take out the villain screens, and there when it is very much like Hi-Fi Rush. You've got like this little hub area with these guys that you talk to, and they've got different shops. So there's like a lot of different outfits to check out. There's a lot of different graffiti to equip. Even like your little drone companion guy, you can put different outfits on him. So like really cute ones where it's like, okay, he's like just looks like a pug now, or looks like a tanuki or whatever. Or, but the visuals on the graffiti are really great. And there's a lot of new ones that pop up as you get further into the game. And then there's some of these that are like really big, and it's like this 3D graffiti.
Love that. 3D done.
The downside,
shout out,
the bosses are weak as heck.
Oh,
the bosses suck, and the last bosses
suck.
Like, I was basically do not skip the game, but maybe skip the last boss. There's not anything that really you get out of beating him. There's not like a huge awesome.
The credits roll though.
The credits roll
and a trophy pops.
Sure, but But yeah, that I probably spent like 2 hours on that boss. It was just like wave after wave of like
Sephiroth all over again.
But that's the thing. It's like you're not even really fighting him so much as it's like you're just like dodging a bunch of AoE circles and
AoE circles, Damiani.
It's like you do like a set of like AoE circles followed by a group of enemies, and there's like no. Oh, and the other thing too is there's like no iframes or anything like that. So you can go from like, okay, I've got this thing down, and then all of a sudden you get to the next part, and it's like, wait, what's happening? Bam, 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 I'm dead. Great. I'm dead before I even knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Start the whole sequence over again. So, yeah. There's another part that I thought was really funny, too, because they had, like, these big, like, lava beams coming down and like, chasing you. But I realized, I learned that, like, wherever they hit the ground also becomes untouchable. Like, literally, the floor is lava. But I learned that if I just walk really slowly, the lava beams will never catch up to you. They move at the same speed that you're moving almost.
It's funny.
And so it's like, okay, if I just walk really slowly, most of the ground will still be fine. And then
Damiani strats.
Yeah, and then I can dodge the boulders or whatever that came down afterwards. So yeah, Rakugaki, very cool game. Maybe don't finish the last boss if you're having trouble with it.
It's very funny.
And then the last one before I got to Bow, I didn't go very deep because, early access stuff, you want to put some time in, but you don't want to like then go back in a year and like have to replay everything.
Dude,
I put some more time into No Rest for the Wicked. I wanted to get past where I was in the preview build, and man, this game is really freaking
up.
good. Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, but like I could see like the differences from when I played it in the preview build to what I played now.
It's encouraging.
Because the preview build was kind of like what we were saying about some of these other games. Like, man, this game was brutal when I first played it. And like I was fighting like that first boss like over and over until like I was running out of resources to be able to heal. It was like I barely beat that last boss in time. This time I managed to get through obviously I fought him before, but this time I got him through the first time.
Yeah.
And so it just feels like the game is still tough, but it's not stupid.
Got it.
And
is it next year, probably?
Probably. I mean, I think like when people go into early access like this, they're really looking to get the player feedback and like we're not putting a hard date on it. But things I got to see more of in this is I got to see more of the characters. And then there's some cool character things going on, and there's some definitely like
it's so good visually.
Yeah, family struggles kind of thing.
Nice.
Like so it's almost like
dragon.
You've got you've got like some of this Game of Thrones business going on. You've got some Souls business going on, and you've got some Diablo business going on.
Nice.
I
like all of those.
Nice
things.
mix. And then like, I still really like even the town itself. I was surprised by how huge the town was and how many like nooks and crannies there were to explore.
Baldur's Gate.
And so it really, it's a really like very exploration focused kind of thing. And like I went back to even the first area to like do a quest because the tavern keeper, her husband had gone out and she was like, he hasn't come back yet. And
better call Geralt.
Yeah, and he had gotten stuck on the far side of this bridge, and then the middle of it went out, and so he didn't have a way back. And so it's like there's obviously a ladder that you could drop down from above, but you had to find the route to get over there. And
level up XP and is it just gear?
No, you definitely level up. Cool. And actually, one of the stats on leveling is they have a specific stat for weight, because weight is a huge thing in here. It's probably one of the biggest things they took from Souls. Is
half the people watching and listening immediately just groaned.
Well, it's only based on stuff that you're equipped, so it's not like you have to stop picking up things and get over encumbered.
That helps.
It's a Souls style weight thing. So like what you're wearing is it depends.
Okay.
It determines your fighting style, essentially. So it's like, if you want that quick roll, then you need to have like less stuff on, And there are a few different weapons. I kind of stuck with just like sword and shield kind of build. but there was like a staff.
Two-handed axe.
That could. There is an axe. And then there are also like tools that are only used for like collecting resources. So there's like axes to chop down trees and like pickaxes to like get ore and stuff like that.
Cool.
But the other thing with the loot is that you can go to guys in town that will like do all these enhancements and stuff to it. So you can have like a normal sword. But then, okay, you get some crystals and like, okay,
frost damage.
Now it's like, you put some frost damage or fire on it, or there's some other effects in there. You can make it weigh less.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
So lots of little bits like that. So
Gotta
I think
find
it's
Havel's ring.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be something pretty significant when they get done with this game. And like I said, I pretty much just played through the first area, played through the town, went back to that's the interesting thing too, is they have like this kind of like fog of war thing on the map.
Dawn.
So the map, it's not that the map changes, but the stuff in the map kind of changes. It's weird. It's hard to explain. So it's like you've uncovered the map, but then if you stay away from an area for long enough, it'll start to darken again. Mm-hmm. And then when you go back, there will be like different enemies in there, or like treasure chests that weren't there before. Now, like basically
Will the
they've
landscape
respawned.
Be different?
The landscape doesn't seem to change itself,
Okay.
but little things like that
Sure.
seem to. Yeah.
I imagine that helps. Like if you need to go back and get some resources or something, so like enemies keep respawning.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because again, one of the things with this is, your healing isn't free. You don't get to
like
just
America.
So you don't just like refill your Estus flask when you get to a checkpoint or whatever. You have to cook meals. So you need to grab resources and find recipes to make more efficient meals and that kind of thing. And the other thing with the checkpoints is the fast travel system is kind of interesting, because I think the way it works is, so if you get to a checkpoint, you can fast travel back to the main one in town. But I think from there, you can't just go wherever you want. Like, I think you can basically just like go back to that checkpoint that you just came from or something like that. It's just, there's more limitations on it rather than just like hopping around everywhere. So
Yeah. Could be a late game thing,
yeah.
like Prince of Persia.
Yep. Also this week, Hello Games presented an extended look at this new update for No Man's Sky.
Crazy.
Free, crazy update overhauling the whole look of the game. There's this gigantic laundry list. Like, Sean, look how excited this dude is, man. He loves this freaking crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Worlds Part 1 update. 5.0.
5.0, that's a big one.
Yeah, big visual overhaul.
Jeez.
New plants and animals are in there. New gameplay.
What the
new water technology to where
frick?
they're doing like this stuff with like waves and wind and like tides. Yeah, they're talking about different wind patterns on different planets and stuff now.
Wind patterns.
Rolling fog, Don.
Rolling fog.
Now you got my attention.
Here we go.
Yeah, they have this whole system for fog and like dust scattering in the wind and embers and all of that.
Dude, am I playing No Man's Sky?
Time to
today?
jump back in, Huber. I'm not even
Jeez.
kidding. I think rolling fog might get me back.
Yeah, it's probably later because this is a longer video, but it's definitely in here, Don.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to scan for it.
Yeah, you gotta find this fog
Yeah,
in
it
action.
actually does look really good.
Rolling.
Ships can land on water. You can see a little bit of it there, but that's not quite it. There is
Dude, that looks like it, Don.
on the page it said something about like living buildings, which I'm not even sure what the heck that's about. Oh, that's the other game. That's their new game that they're working on, Light No Fire.
Yeah,
so they're saying that like working on that brought them back. Go back a little bit, Don. I might have seen it. Go back a little, like, yeah, there's the wave stuff. So like different times of day and stuff, the waves will be at different places.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Don, sorry. Skip to like 2 minutes ahead of this or something.
Yeah, I thought I saw it too.
Yeah, so some clouds there and this stuff maybe.
Right
yeah,
there.
It's right there.
That like murky part.
Yeah.
A little forward.
330-ish.
Yep. Right there. Right there. Do it. It'll play.
It'll get there.
After Sean Murray, it goes like a dark looking part, and it looked foggy.
Yeah.
Fog hype.
There it is.
Dude.
Is that the rolling fog?
Looks like a dust storm, actually.
That's a dust storm, but
Yeah.
it's the same technology.
Interesting.
Dude, I like that outfit. Sick.
Yeah, right? Like,
God,
this looks like a brand new game coming out. Like, not like something from 2016 that they just
actually
upgraded.
does. It's like almost unrecognizable.
There's some more fog here.
Yeah,
for
they've
Dawn.
got all kinds of nice little fog effects in here.
Dude, Dawn is in.
Yeah, this is actually the section now. Yeah.
Dawn
And
is
then you can
so
see the
in.
rain.
Salivating.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Wild. What a redemption
Uh,
story.
So
Yeah.
this is just free updates? These are just free updates,
update
huh?
just came out.
Keeps on coming.
Keeps on coming. And they said part 1 basically is like, oh, we don't know what else is coming, but we got more.
How are they making money? Are there microtransactions?
I don't think they have a lot of
Because I bought this game
microtransactions.
like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and then they just keep like giving free stuff.
I think it's just that popular that they managed to keep doing it. I don't know.
All right. Wow. This is crazy.
Sega has sued an individual
What?
who has made excessive, slanderous, and insulting comments on social media against one of our employees for a long time, quote.
Good.
After trying to remedy the issue directly, a court granted Sega access to the individual's personal information. They have now reached a settlement for them to pay damages and delete the harmful posts.
Sick.
And Sega says they will continue to take appropriate action to combat
Got
malicious
'em.
behavior.
Got him.
Yep.
Seriously. Freedom of speech, but like not attacking someone like that. That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know
The
how
fact that
long
Sega had
it's
to
been
take
going on.
that
but yeah.
level of action, that it went to a court, that the court
Yeah, that's
sided
insane.
for Sega. Also, like, that must have been insane.
Here we go. How am I gonna get this to Dawn? It's a freaking Twitter video. Devolver Digital just 47 minutes ago announced Force Strike, which looks like some samurai thing here.
Dude, it looks like Kung Fu.
We're watching this for the first time.
I'm getting Kung Fu vibes.
Adopt techniques from one of 5 unique masters. Each battle presents a
here
puzzle
we go.
that must be solved using your mind as well as your fists.
Mind Jack.
I'm going to see if I can find out anything else here. We got a Steam page. Tactical Kung Fu. Repetition is the key to success. Martial artist named Yu. You embark on a journey across the country to free the Emperor
Sifu
from
energy,
an
dude.
evil admiral's influence.
Oh, it's like solve the fight type thing.
Yeah. Kind of like Hot Miami in a way.
Yeah.
Each battle presents a puzzle that must be solved using
Yep.
your mind as well as your fists. Yep.
Very cool.
There you go.
Still very cool. Very cool.
He is always outnumbered, but he has a secret weapon, the Foresight, a meditative technique that allows him to mentally perceive fights over and over till he finds a sequence of movements that allows him to overcome the odds. That reminds me of something else. Some other game did that, where like your attempts were really just like you visualizing it. Trying to remember what that was.
Yo, this looks great.
But yeah,
I'm
once
so
ready, our
in.
hero must fight in reality,
Yeah.
where losing means starting everything over.
Yeah, it looks like a roguelite.
But progress is permanent.
Amazing. Please tell me it's out right now.
Please
tell me
to
it's-
be announced.
Shit.
Yeah, I was like, I think it was just announced.
Dude.
Yeah.
In. Easy in. 100% in.
Yeah. Looks cool.
Yep. Guaranteed in. Playing that.
Back to Dawn. Avatar got a new story expansion this week.
Heyo.
The Skyscraper has the Na'vi participating in a festival of games.
I love this.
that you actually get to like do some mini games and
That's
ride
badass.
horses and stuff in. And then a mysterious shadow in the sky crashes the party. Go beat 'em up, Dawn.
Hell yeah.
They got a whole bunch of like brand new areas to explore in a place called the Heart of the Plains.
Very cool.
So, Dawn, have you already played this? What are you thinking?
I have not played this yet, but I'm very excited. I like the little introduction with the games section because it looks like that part might be fully like a full section on its own where you get to participate in all these different kinds of. They had like bow, archery and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it just looks like it looks like a nice way for anyone to just kind of get back in.
Yeah.
And then watch this. There's right here, this little sequence of shots where you see all the new areas.
Sick.
Oh, I'm drooling. God, this game looks wonderful.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
In motion, too. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, when you're actually playing it, it is lovely.
Yep.
Pumped.
That's a nice.
I'm going to hop back in, Don, for sure.
I am too.
That was a nice little detail about a bow I forgot to mention is because a few of these games I was playing on my laptop. I haven't really played a lot of games on my laptop, but since I had, I was on the trip and a lot of these things were just on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bow was like what made me find out is like, oh, I can run this at 120 on my laptop.
Nice.
Because I was just going through the visual options. It's like, oh crap, there's 120. I'm playing it on 120 right now.
It's funny.
Sick.
Yeah.
Because my refresh rate.
Yeah.
So this one stuck out to me this week. I don't know anything about this series. Silvio, have you ever heard of Silvio before?
Only the Sopranos character.
Okay, there's Silvio 1 and 2. Have won some awards out back in the day somewhere. But they just announced Silvio Blackwaters is out next week. First-person horror game. And it sounds like this place looks like the Earth, but it's not really the Earth. Like somebody's like artificially engineered it.
Hell.
Yeah. Don't know what's going on.
Looks like Isla bait.
Yeah.
Strongly.
Yeah, definitely seems to be some puzzles going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with. They were like shooting somebody that was like a bunch of fireflies put together or something.
Fireflies.
It's interesting.
When you're lost in the dark.
It's also pretty approachable, digestible because they say it's only about 4 to 6 hours. $13.
Great.
So nice little pickup there next week.
Yeah. And you said that's part of a series.
Yeah.
Wild.
Third game it seems like in the
Jeez.
series.
Never heard of it. I'm sorry, Sylvia.
Don, pull up the photos. It's time. Everyone's talking about it. The Deadpool controller.
Oh my god.
It's shaped like Deadpool's butt.
Oh my god. Love it. Hilarious.
That's great.
What's funny too is like the post about it is like it's designed by Deadpool himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Come on, man. Just fully playing into this bit.
So good.
Yeah,
And then you can put on the other one, Don. They actually they made the controller like the main event. They also have a full-on Xbox. We'll see in a second. That has like a stand with like foam katanas behind it.
Seems cumbersome.
But they were like, yeah, we also got this thing. Like the controller with the butt is the main thing that there's the selling point here.
That's very funny.
It's called the Cheeky Controller.
Amazing.
And apparently you can't buy it though. It's only for giveaway. They're doing it.
Of course.
They're doing. So
Cool.
get Twitter followers and all that.
All the best ones.
Great.
It's always all the best ones, Damiani. What the hell?
Yep. And then the people that get them will just sell them for $500.
It's
like
a
they don't even
disgrace.
want them. Cool. Fun.
So there it is. If you want to put your hands around Deadpool's tush,
When's
you're
when's
gonna
the
have to win that
Wolverine-
contest,
When's the Wolverine one though?
right?
Gotta have Wolverine something.
Yep.
I saw. Did you see
Not
the Alien
iconic enough.
Romulus popcorn bucket? Have you seen it, Don?
I haven't seen that one. No, what is it?
It's a fucking xenomorph head
Oh,
with
Wow.
popcorn in it.
Wow.
It's incredible. I might actually have to eat popcorn in a movie.
I hope.
because it looks amazing.
How sick would it be? I'm just daydreaming here. If you like had a little button on it, and every time you press the button, the little Minnie Mouse like shot a piece of popcorn out at you.
just like-
It could shoot from its mouth to yours. Oh man, that'd be fun.
Or you
How'd
have
you like
to,
a bunch
you
of those
have to
clicking
actually
in the
grab
movie
it.
theater next to
Do a
you?
little
Can't wait
mouth
till
to mouth.
Huber's in the movie theater and people are clicking off their Romulus popcorn bucket and stuff.
Huber, do you remember Splitgate?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, Splitgate 2 is here.
Splitgate. I need to see it in action. The
Maybe,
name.
maybe Don missed it, but yeah. So it was Halo plus Portal, and it was
Yeah.
It was like these
Yes.
indie devs.
Yes.
Ended up being super good.
Yeah.
And like originally it started as like a school project that
Yeah.
just blew up. They said there's
remember.
like 22 million downloads
It's
on the
insane,
original.
dude.
Today they just put out a cinematic trailer, not gameplay, but we know the game looks good from the first one. We got Splitgate 2 coming. And they now have been so successful, they've got 150 staff members.
Yeah, I'm sure the budget and the production value is 0 to 100. You know?
Yeah, still free to play. Coming to PC and consoles next year, 2025.
Cool.
Then, final one for also this week. You guys can probably tell me more. Karate Kid. Street Rumble.
Yeah, here we go.
Love it. Damiani, I thought of this last night when I was watching Cobra Kai. I was thinking about this game, and I wanted to tell you I love this because we've been getting so many Cobra Kai themed things. This being actual Karate Kid beat 'em up is so exciting. I didn't even process that fully until I was like watching it last night, thinking like, oh yeah, it's actually like the Karate Kid storyline for this game.
Yeah, the original film trilogy.
Yeah, so that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, like it going back through it. Yeah, they said that in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going relive the original story, but like in a video game. That's so cool.
My mind has just been so Cobra Kai for the last 5-6 years. It's like, all right, awesome, dude.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably more popular than the original trilogy or close to it. They're probably at this point, yeah.
Yeah, it looks freaking good. The art style, one of the most important things for a beat 'em up, 10 out of 10.
They are capitalizing at the right time. Like so many good beat 'em ups starting to come up, and knowing it's a hot genre again, and seeing that they already made 2 attempts and they didn't go over so well. Probably they were like okay. I mean, the first one was. I think the second one was way worse, but the franchise, we said, Cobra Kai is huge. It's made Karate Kid like bigger than ever, and they've been trying to get a game in there that would really capitalize on that zeitgeist, and this is probably going to be their best chance, honestly.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Great timing.
Going in the final season and, a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up, there you go.
Yeah.
I feel like this one... I feel like the very least, they'll probably, like, a lot of their fan base will probably, like, pick this one up for sure. Or I think, like, the other ones, especially after the second one, they were probably, like, hesitant about that sequel one.
Yeah.
Like, the first one, I think people maybe jumped in on, but... This one's got to be it.
It's funny. What do you think? Like, Cobra Kai feels bigger, obviously, and it's obviously like more recent. Like, Cobra Kai is freaking huge, but also on the flip side, I feel like this game coming out as the Karate Kid, I think it will actually help sales instead of it being called Cobra Kai. I feel like Cobra Kai is bigger, but like Karate Kid is more of a brand, more recognizable.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get both. You get people who are in the current Cobra Kai zeitgeist, and then maybe I'm sure there are people who enjoyed like the first Karate Kid, either the trilogy or just even the first film, and just have no interest in Cobra Kai. Like, Karate Kid was an 80s thing. I'm over that. Like, I wouldn't want to watch a modern version of it. So they're just not tuned in. They'll also probably get those people, like older gamers as well. So I think you're just, it's a pretty, wide approach they're taking. I don't think this is going to be, a blockbuster hit or anything like that, but I do feel like this could be something that's a nice it's just a nice game that actually kind of lives up to the kind of like the reputation of like the property it has right now. That people can just I guess just having fun with it. Just something that was fun, because Cobra first game was fun because I went through it with you, but it did drag on way too long, in my opinion.
Long.
It was so damn long. And the second one, I just looked at it. I was like, no, this looks so much worse. I'm not into this. So I think just passing that visual test, retro visuals, here we go. It's poised to
I'm ready for it to be in my top 10 of the year, Damiani.
I'm trying to avoid saying they're going to make their money back and make a profit off it. Like, from a business standpoint, it's a good thing. But I think from a fan standpoint, this will actually be really fun and enjoyable to play.
Yeah. What's the date on that?
It's
September?
Yeah, September 20th.
Nice.
4-player local co-op.
No online.
They didn't say. I feel like there might not be online, but we'll see.
Dude, I need to play this with you.
And then you can play as Daniel, Mr. Miyagi, Ali Mills, and Kumiko.
Did they show Miyagi in the trailer?
Yeah, they do.
You playing as Miyagi? I missed it. Dude.
You have to get play it over Parsec or something.
Yeah. Dude, I hope Miyagi's like an unlockable character. Unlock him.
All right. It's time for love and respect. But before we get to it, as I was trying to figure out, like, where's Rufus? Because I've been out. Like, I didn't know where people put him. I picked up the other Rufus, and you got to hear the difference in this. This is so funny.
Can't hear.
Love and respect.
Higher and faster.
Dude, the tone of that
Higher
one.
and faster.
Yeah.
And then it was our regular one. Unfortunately, sorry, Damiani, you can't hear. But here we go. We'll do the real one. Love and respect.
Some respect.
Dude. So different.
Yeah. So the individualness of the Rufus. Yeah, we were talking about we might just like record our current Rufus now. I'm actually curious if we go like how different he sounds now versus like the first podcasts.
Yeah, totally.
Anyways, starting off with Cabbage Lad, who chose violence.
Why?
Allies.
I know.
This week I decided to take Huber up on one of his recommendations.
Uh-oh.
Is it Fist, I hear you ask?
Yeah.
Onimusha? Darkest Dungeon?
Yeah.
No.
All of those.
Almonds. And I am here to report to all viewers and listeners that almonds suck.
What?
They are dry and stale and get stuck in your teeth. So my question is what is your go-to snack? Preferably healthy, but unhealthy will suffice. Mine used to be sour Skittles, but since turning into my 30s, they make me feel so bad. Thanks.
Yo, sour Skittles hurt. They like cut up my mouth.
I do like them.
Well,
They're good.
They can like mess your roof up in your tongue.
Yeah, if you have
So
too
salt
many,
on it. Yeah, salt will burn your.
But I don't know what this almond steak is, man.
That's insane.
It's insane.
With the almonds, though, you have to have a glass of water with it. You stay hydrated. It actually helps you stay hydrated because you're talking about it getting stuck in your teeth and stuff.
But if they're dry and stale, I mean, maybe you bought some dry and stale almonds.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Also,
not all almonds are created equally. Are we talking about Blue Diamond, the definitive almond on the planet Earth? Blue Diamond almonds, or some imposter?
I actually do like
stuff,
the almonds from CBS too.
Blue Diamond.
I prefer those actually.
Should try cashews maybe if you're not like into almonds. I like cashews a little bit, honestly.
Yeah. Also, something that my wife and her family does, which is really great, is toasting them. Like
toasted almonds.
Yeah, either like in
roasted
the oven or the toaster oven.
Jeez.
And it definitely totally changes like the dynamic for sure. Yeah. So like I can definitely eat a lot more of those toasted almonds than the raw ones.
I think
I don't really get into the sprinkly the flavors and stuff as much.
Yeah. I think knowing that almonds are like healthy for you to a degree also helps me eat them and love them.
Yeah.
You know? Like when you know something's healthy, it like lowers my need for it to taste as good as something unhealthy, you know? So.
But I don't know. Almonds are great.
Almonds are, regardless of healthy or not, almonds are still great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
have you tried the different flavors? But then they get messy.
But that's the thing.
The whole point of gaming
that's
is
the thing. Yeah, it's not messy.
You could eat them with a chopstick.
Almonds with a chopstick would be a challenge. That'd be a bit of a challenge.
So
flying across the room. I don't know what else to tell you if you don't like almonds, man.
Yeah,
pretzels.
Pretzels
are good.
I like them. That's fine.
It's tough though.
I do like the pretzel chips, the flat ones. Get those pretty regularly.
You know what I love? Here's one. Are peanut butter filled pretzels.
Okay.
Those little like pretzel nugget things with peanut butter in them.
Yep.
Try those out.
Those are good.
Huber, you got my attention. Pretzels, talking pretzels. You know what I've been indulging in?
What?
They're these pretzel sticks that are like dipped in a they're honey glazed pretzel sticks. I've been getting them at Trader Joe's. They're so friggin' yummy.
Or wheat sticks.
Yeah,
like that.
dude.
Wheat sticks.
Oh my God, those are so good, Don.
I'm glad you've had those.
Yes. There's the honey ones, and then there's like a seasoning on one of them.
I don't know if I've had the seasoned one.
Oh my God.
Probably like a
So a savory and a sweet pretzel.
Yeah, there's like a savory one too.
I also like nut thins. I don't know if you ever had those. They're like basically like rice crackers made with like almond flour.
Oh, those are super yummy. Those like lightweight crackers, right?
Yeah.
Lighter than air.
All right,
Any kind of rice crackers are great.
Yeah, no almonds for you. What about wheat thins? That's a good substitution.
Yep. Like that.
Plain wheat thins, not too greasy on the hands. Check those out. Some wheat thins.
Okay.
Or, better yet, just eat before and after you game. Do you really need to eat during it?
Right.
Just like when you go see a movie. Why don't you just eat before the movie, watch the movie, then eat again?
In order to keep the theater business afloat, that's the entire theater industry is relying on you eating, Huber.
It's so distracting for you, the eater, and everybody else in your radius. It's distracting everybody.
The entire industry is in business thanks to us stuffing ourselves. Ticket holders are doing nothing.
Next up.
You're kind of right, dude. You're kind of right. It's a good take. You're kind of right.
It's the only thing I can think of to justify my deplorable behavior. Trying to come up with something.
All right, next from Philip Sykes. I got a million things to say about this, but I think I'll let you guys talk first. Okay. Hello, allies. How many games do you purchase for yourself versus getting the codes?
Codes.
I know it's something of a running joke for you all to pester Bloodworth for the codes to an interesting new title, but at the same time, you do seem to get exclusive early access to a lot of stuff, with seemingly every Sony first-party game having review access provided by PlayStation. When you do indeed play a game via the codes, do you spare a thought to the retail price in your impressions or reviews?
Yeah.
You talk about so many different kinds of games on the podcast that it can be tough at times while listening to remember whether you're trying a game on your own initiative or because you got the codes for it from a publisher. Apologize if this is information you can't legally divulge. I mean, it's better for us to divulge. But, okay, I got a million things. But
yeah,
give me your thoughts first.
Probably get like half maybe now.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when we had more of us, it was like a quarter or so I would get codes for, and now it feels like half or so, you know? When it's a game I super duper love, I buy it even if I get a code, like Evil Within or something. I have physical copies of that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, physical is definitely a different thing.
But yeah, I would just say half, and then I buy the other half. Like I just bought the Metal Gear Solid collection. I bought Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown because Damiani reviewed that, you know, and Persona 3. I think Damiani also got. So I bought that recently, physical copies. So yeah, about half. And I do always take that into account when I'm critiquing a game or reviewing it as well. I think cost is a little bit of a factor, not like an insanely huge factor, because games are a luxury entertainment item, but like, you know, you're playing something like Hollow Knight for $20 or, you know, versus something.
There are definitely
like
times where it can tip the scales a little bit. It's like really this is that much, or like really this is that cheap? Like really? Yeah. But most of the time not so much.
You know, another big one is Concord. That's gonna be $40, where it's like that's a factor for that, because there's just a lot of free-to-play games in that space. Yep. So.
Yeah, you talk about Game Pass changing the value of games. I think the free-to-play is maybe done a bigger disservice, because it's like, oh, here's this really great high-budget, very tuned multiplayer game. It's like $40.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Just thumb your nose at that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were going to talk about Conquer today. Shit. I only played a few matches.
Yeah, I thought
it was good.
Yeah, I thought that you would want to wait, because they're actually adding more to the open beta this weekend.
Nice. So next time, okay.
So
nice.
try to get it this weekend and get
There's
some more
like
thoughts.
This massively tall woman with a minigun in Concord that walks so slow, but she's a beast tank. Highly recommend if you play the Concord beta. Try her out.
Before I go on my whole giant spiel, Damiani, any thoughts on the codes?
I bought like Elden Ring DLC twice. I got the PS5 and then the PC version. I bought a physical version of NES Remix because the special edition came with like that NES cartridge. Which seemed pretty cool.
Remix or the World Champions that just came out?
The World Championship, sorry.
Yeah.
And Nintendo World Championships. It came with that replica cartridge.
Right, I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. That's like a cool physical thing to have. But I would say, like, I mean, I'll buy a thing here or there when I like feel it's like necessary, but like a lot of the stuff generally would say is codes because spend a lot of money on like subscription for Final Fantasy 14. $12 it's like $12 a month. So I mean, and then all like I cooled it on Cash Shop stuff on that thing. I kind of got tired of buying a lot of that stuff. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna play the game now.
For those curious too, we usually just get one code for a game unless it's a very specific case.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I have on my
for the
thing
whole
there.
group,
Yeah,
just one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Yeah. There's some special cases. Sometimes a big Sony game, they'll give us like 2 or 3. Like God of War, they gave us a few.
Well, no, Sony will give everybody. Yeah. I think it's a little bit different with in their case because it's like
first party.
They're in charge of the codes, where it's like everyone else like gets an allotment from Sony.
That's right. That probably Because then Nintendo is like
Nintendo was like you'll get the one code for sure. Like if it's a Nintendo game, only one of us is getting that code.
Yeah.
But yeah, first off, I would say assume we got the codes. Because we do get codes for pretty much everything. And not only do we get the codes, but then the things I will not be able to say too much more about is that there are also other programs, aside from getting codes directly, where, like, we just have access to a bunch of things. So, that aren't even necessarily going through the publishers themselves.
That sounds mysterious, Blood. Can you elaborate on that?
I can tell you know what it means.
But their mind is racing now, watching and listening. Their mind is racing. You need to explain that a little more.
I basically they're just programs where you have access. I don't know how else to explain it without.
My mind is racing.
So they're paying us to play their games. That's what everyone's wondering now.
It's just basically like. They have a list of games that are open, and then you have an account that you can play them on, essentially.
There you go.
That's the basically way to go.
Okay.
Different programs work different ways.
Got it.
And have different access. As you said, not everyone gets a code, so sometimes only 1 or 2 per outlet. If it's a multiplayer game, there's a better chance that there will be more codes or whatever.
Yeah.
That also... It doesn't mean that there's no initiative because we have so many codes. I will literally will have 80-something codes at the end of every month that nobody's picked up. So it's like the games that we are covering is almost like it's almost like if you when you become a part of the industry, it's it tilts. It's like at first you're like, oh my gosh, so many free games, but then after a bit, it's like, oh my gosh, so many games.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's not about whether you can afford to buy a game or not. It's about, okay, what is going to be the thing that I want to put my time into to cover, And so it's it's like you guys decide what you want to cover. Mm-hmm. And then I go and I ask for the codes, and then we get a bunch of other codes that I didn't ask for. And then I'm like, hey, does anyone want to check this out?
And then I'll be like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes down.
Yeah. And there are times definitely that having something makes it easier to check out if you're unsure, but just so much more of this is just driven by I saw that.
Put me on the list.
Yeah. Exactly.
Totally.
And then I guess the last 2 more points. First of all of this, even though it's fun, is a business. It's all for business purposes. So even when we do buy something, it's still for business purposes. It's still a tax write-off for us.
Yeah.
Because it's even if we are not covering it on the show or doing a review or streaming it, there's still that matter of perspective. And it's okay, if I'm talking about this game, it helps to know, Bo is kind of like Hollow Knight, or No Rest for the Wicked.
Prince of Persia, Lost Crown versus Bo, in a way. It's right, what is this genre doing this year?
It all kind of mashes up in your head as part of just being a critic and doing your job.
Yeah.
And, having awards to vote on when Keeley sends that ballot in. It's all right, who's played what?
This is why I replay games, everybody. This is why I replay old games, so I can turn my mind off from that.
Yeah, because that's about the only time that you're actually free from that part of your head is when you're replaying something you've already played before.
Yes.
And then, a stack of codes this week is basically a stack of work that has to be done. And it's like, oh, there's Flock. Oh, there's click holding. Oh, there's this. It's like, I can't get it all in this week. Even if I played all of it, how would we get it all in the podcast sometimes? You know, it's like, dang it.
Too many things.
And then the last little bit is price is always relative.
Always.
It's such a weird thing to think about because it's like I could buy a lot more games a few years ago than I can right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I lived with roommates.
Yeah.
My rent was like $400.
Totally.
I could buy anything I wanted. Right now, it's like, oh, I'm not making any money and I have to give a lot of money away.
Yep.
So it's like I'm in a whole completely different situation.
Looking for those sales.
You know, it's like, and we see that come up with like our patrons and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, they were cool, $5 a month. Oh, now they got to buy a house.
Yeah.
You know, oh yeah, I can't do $25 a month anymore. I got to drop down to $5 because I had a kid. You know, it's like life changes, prices are relative.
100%.
But basically, assume we got the codes.
Yeah.
In pretty much any situation. We are a press outlet, and that's what we do. And so our job is to get those games to talk about them.
Get the codes. Get that GTA 6 code. Get that code. We need that code.
Rockstar is a weird one because it's like, with just being like live service for most of GTA, it's like, okay, once every couple of years you got to find that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Red Dead Redemption 2 is out. Hope that guy still works at Rockstar.
In a way,
now GTA 6 is like the next game since then. That was so long ago.
In a way, I don't want the code so I can experience the hype with everyone. Imagine 9 p.m. the night that game comes out. The electricity.
From Joseph Caruso, I want to ask the panel a simple question.
Simple question.
What video game power-up sprites instill the most dopamine when you see them?
Sprites.
I'm not really talking about
sprites.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Specifically.
I'm not really talking about what power-up or upgrade itself gets you the most excited, but something about the visual that awakens something deep in your brain. Personally, I grew up on the NES and Super Nintendo, so there's a lot of power-up sprites that make me feel nostalgic. But for whatever reason, the ones that are most cemented in my mind are the weapon power-ups from Contra on the NES. We didn't even have that game, but I remember watching our babysitter play it and just getting such a rush of excitement when I'd see that icon pop out and sit on the screen before we'd pick it up. I think a close second would be seeing a new beam weapon in the arms of a Chozo statue in Super Metroid. So maybe there's something to seeing a power-up sprite with a small little letter indicating what kind of weapon it is. What about you?
Lead pipe, Streets of Rage. And the leaf in Super Mario Brothers 3. Come on. That leaf.
You're going to say leaf.
Out.
I was going to say Tanuki because it was so rare.
It's so rare, but yeah.
When I was a kid, I was like...
It's so rare.
When it would come out, I'd go nuts. I'd be like, yes, and then I'd lose it 2 seconds later.
Exactly.
I'd be like, shit.
The leaf is just like the workhorse.
For me, it was the P-Wing.
Yeah.
Oh, me, it was the feather for the cape in World. I was like, and give me that a level. I was like, yeah, let's go. I get to fly do this dumb level.
The P-Wing is interesting, though, because like he said, it's got a little letter on it.
Yeah.
It's got a little P there.
Yeah.
I wonder. What if that has something to do with it?
P-Wing hype.
Also,
dude.
the other one on my list, the energy tank, it's got a big E on it.
Super good.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Such a good one.
Oh, speaking of Mega Man, yeah, some of my earliest memories, Blood, were Mega Man 2 farming, those little drill things that would come through the floor and ceiling, and you're just waiting for, like, you get the tiny little dots, but when you get that big circle with the ring, the full energy egg,
Yeah. Yeah, you do the same thing in Metroid. You'd sit on one of those nests and like farm the little bugs that come out.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you get a little like beep.
Oh,
beep,
totally.
And then you get the big purple one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanuki suit, Damiani, so fucking iconic. There was like 2 or 3 in the whole game though, dude. So annoying.
Well, the hammer suit too. Yeah.
The Hammer Brothers suit was so.
Dude, the frog suit too. The frog suit's so.
I
fun.
wanted the frog suit to get to the end because you got a different message when you beat an airship, a castle level.
Oh.
When you reach the end in the frog suit, they think you're an animal and need to be transformed back too. So you get like an alternate message.
That is great. I did not know that.
100 times. I never knew that, Damiani. That is some sick ass trivia, dude.
Or getting the item that lets you skip a level, but then there's levels with the hands that grab you in the last world.
I love
so you try and use it on that,
That's
and it's
so
like
fun.
you waste it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you stupid.
I love
asshole.
the hands, dude.
All right, it's time for bets. Damiani, Huber's gonna love this. The comments, they sniffed out a little loophole that you might have here. I don't think you've ever used this, but last week it felt like you could just say whatever you want. Last week Huber said his low bet, then you came in with your hands up, went 2 under Huber. So now you're just to avoid the sense of doubt in people's minds watching. We're gonna have you give your bets first. So you,
okay.
So you can't
easy.
over under
weird,
anybody.
but sure.
like it.
Cool.
Thanks for having my back, chat. Appreciate it. Gotta watch out for these guys, dude.
I just pick it in my mind and I just say it. I try and say it as quickly as possible too, so there's like no doubt. But sure.
I never once thought you were being sketched.
Our chat will always come up with ways to think we're being shady. Yeah, whatever.
I think Damiani should do a henna tattoo on his chest and reveal it. Rip off. Woo! We need something semi-permanent.
Anyways, this week's bet, Earth Defense Force 6 is out next Thursday. I'm going to go through the top 10 English reviews on OpenCritic. If you don't know Earth Defense Force somehow, this is a game where you're shooting lots of giant bugs.
Yep.
It's a game that's a very low budget.
Yep.
And a very low frame rate sometimes.
It's
because
like a B movie. Like a
more
B
bugs
budget.
on screen than frames
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah. We'll see how this one runs, though.
So I'm going to go through those top 10 English reviews on OpenCritic. I want to know how many times, though, I will find the word Helldivers. Damiani, you're first now. Papa
0.
0. Papa's Cocker Spaniel says 0. Huber, Stealthy Centipede.
2.
2. Dawn, the Fashionable Manatee.
I'm going with 8.
8. Gabby, Optimistic Rat. 4. And then I, the Effervescent Hippopotamus, have said 26.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Wow.
Blood knows something.
Pulling in
dog.
that high.
I was nervous I was way too high.
I don't know
Wow.
anything you don't know.
Blood knows something,
Well,
dude.
you've analyzed it.
Yeah. He's part of some, like, Earth Defense Force consortium.
Last week's bet, I love this. Oh, this was great. Flock came out this week as well.
Flock. I didn't know this thing was multiplayer.
Yeah, it's got a multiplayer mode, yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. I haven't played it multiplayer, I've only played single player, but
Chill.
we'll see. I gotta get to that game for sure.
Same.
It's not supposed to be that long either.
Chill. Yeah.
good stuff.
High on my list.
Yeah. I wasn't able to get to it in time, but yeah, I will try to get that next week.
Same.
Last week I asked how many sheep we would see on Annapurna's official Twitter posts on their profile. All right, between 12:01 a.m. July 12th and 11:59 p.m. July 17th. Retweets did count, but the media had to be visible in the tweet. The main thing is I didn't click a link to go through, right? Huber, you bet 12 sheep. Damiani bet 10 sheep. Isla bet 22 sheep. Dawn bet 105 sheep.
It's a lot of sheep.
Whoops.
Gabby bet 35 sheep. So I went and counted these sheep last night. I did not fall asleep, just so you know. And again, what's important is how many are on the feed. So repeated images count. The logo itself has 2 sheep in the logo. The word sheep counts. And although
Wait, the word counts?
Those are sheep.
I like that.
There's a
didn't
sheep
know
on the
that.
profile.
I like that.
What? This is
How many
shady.
sheep would we see in Annapurna's official Twitter
What?
post?
Spirit of
There
the
it is.
bet, dude. Visual sheep. See, not hear or
I will say it
read.
won't make a difference.
Okay.
Okay. I could not have predicted how many things that they would retweet throughout the week.
It's 1 million sheep.
It's an insane number of flock retweets from Annapurna. So July 12th, 10:09 a.m. Oh, these are going to be a little out of order because it doesn't show me when they retweeted them. It just shows me the original tweets timestamp, so it's a little weird. So I was looking at them in the order of going up the list. So July 12th, 10:09 a.m., 4 sheep. July 15th, 9 a.m., 2 sheep. July 15th, 9:02, 11 sheep. 9:07, 11 sheep, because it was the same image. Two different outlets used that image.
It's over.
9:30, 4 sheep. 1:54, 4 sheep. July 16th, 1:45 a.m., 1 sheep. 6 a.m., 2 sheep. 4:21 a.m., 8 sheep. 2:03 a.m., 1 sheep. Then, July 16th, 9:12 a.m., they posted this 2-minute trailer.
80 sheep.
19 sheep in that trailer. 9 a.m., 2 sheep. 12:55 a.m., 1 sheep. 9:41, 2 sheep. 12:23 p.m., 2 sheep. Then, there's a 9:45. They posted that same trailer again, but now it's got a 5-minute, like little ESRB thing on the front. So there's another 19 sheep. Then they retweeted somebody quote tweeting that trailer. So now you've got another 19 sheep.
Oh my god.
Then we got 3 sheep. Then we got 5 sheep. All in all, we have 120 sheep.
Holy shit.
Don is the winner.
Wow, dude.
Shout out to the sheep.
You earned that. You earned that one, Don.
Getting back in this thing.
Holy cow.
That brings our scoreboard to Stealthy Centipede with 9. And that Fashionable Manatee now has 4.
Swing.
Wild.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. Everything that we do here is because of people just like yourself who have decided to pitch in and make this stuff happen, not only for their own enjoyment, but for other people to be able to watch it and listen to this podcast as well. And the main way that we go about that is on patreon.com/easyallies. And that $5 tier, that is the sweet spot tier. You get in that Discord. You get to submit questions to Love and Respect. You get this podcast 2 days early, and you get that extended edition with the extra Love and Respect questions in it.
Snyder cut.
Yeah. You get to vote on top 10s in the Discord, and there's some other fun things that'll pop in there from time to time. And then some other tiers, $10 and up. Lots of other fun bonuses. Our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. And this month's shout outs go to Javawabs, Elthanis, and Forever Ender. Shout out. All right. What's up?
You guys froze for a second.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you say it? Sorry.
I did. We did shout out.
Can you do it again?
Okay.
Oh, I didn't say it because I didn't. Yeah, it looked like you guys froze for a second, so I didn't know when to say it.
We got a do-over.
Yep.
Yeah, do over. Double shout out.
Double shout out to Javawabs, Elthanis, and Forever Ender. Shout out.
Shout out.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
You guys finally got the betting special results up.
Yeah.
Went up this morning.
Check it out. It's a nail biter. It's a close one.
Yeah. Some interesting events happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Decapitations was the one. I was like, you guys have got to rule this correctly because of
I know.
because it was there. It was referenced when I bet.
I know.
That's it. It's in the word.
I know.
Decap. Head off. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But it was fine. All good. You streamed the TMNT game.
Yeah.
Group stream. How was that?
Fun.
Nice.
Super fun. It's got like
When you figured out how to go to the next room.
yeah. It's like shades of Hades in there.
Nice.
4-player co-op. We felt any good roguelite, you feel the power increase. We're getting stronger and stronger, getting further and further. And we ended with a very nice crunch if you go back and you watch that one.
Sick.
So we got to a boss, a legendary Turtles boss. So, very fun.
Excellent. We'll be doing those NES Championship edition. NES, what is it? Nintendo World Championships NES edition.
NES edition,
Yeah.
yep.
Next Tuesday.
Nice.
We had alluded to it, and it is coming. Damiani's Dawn Trail
Dawn
review.
Trail.
Oh, yeah.
When I have some time, I
Hyped on
got to
that.
look through that script, get it off to Jones.
I'm very hyped on that. I need the Damiani take.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't even peeked at it yet, so I don't know anything. All right, Dawn, you get to shout out anything or anyone that's on your mind this week. You get the final word, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
Alrighty then. I gotta shout out someone. I'm gonna shout out the Mirage Hotel and Casino. Everybody.
Yeah, dude.
Rest in peace.
Mirage
Rip.
Hotel and Casino. Rest in peace. They closed down this week.
Oh,
So
wow.
many wonderful, wonderful memories, happy memories being at the Mirage. Damiani looks like he wants to set it. So I'm going to allow you to cut in on this special moment we're going to share.
So many people are going to Vegas right now for Evo this weekend. Pay your respects. Go show your respects to the Mirage.
That's not a bad. I love that, Damiani. Thank you for that, actually. I hope people do pay their respects. You know, some of my favorite memories, eating a chicken parm sandwich at the sports book, you know, loitering in the glass atrium, just kind of mesmerized with the fauna and flora there. And of course, one of my greatest memories ever, being massaged while playing the slots for multiple hours. There was the wonderful person who gave me the pillow I could rest on my lap. A chin pillow. You could rest your chin just like this, and you could just crank that lever, and she's massaging you. It was unbelievable, bringing you drinks. I will never forget from the time you pulled up to the valet, you just an escape to that beautiful oasis in the desert. To the staff of the Mirage, I know all of you might not be moving on to the Hard Rock, so thank you so much for so many years of making us feel so welcome. A lot of good memories of the Mirage. Shout out to the Mirage. Final word, Huber. With all due respect, I'm gonna come at you
Violence.
From the other side. No, the opposite. This is an olive branch, actually, from the other side.
Olives?
Yeah, I'm offering a olive branch across. I'm reaching across the aisle in the movie theater, Hubert, to try to look at this. Snacks. Concessions are critical for the theater industry. This is a fact, okay? But look at this. Just like at a restaurant, just like anywhere you go, just like at your own table in your house, maybe, there are people that are rude and people that are polite. I just want you to know, Huber, I'm in there scarfing down snacks, yes, but I'm trying to be as polite as I possibly can. I'm going to keep that pizza sealed for about 15 to 20 minutes to try to keep the fumes down until it cools off a little. If I'm crunching on nachos, I'm not kidding about this, and sometimes it's very uncomfortable for me. A moment of silence will suddenly happen, or like, and I've got a mouthful of cheese and crunched up nacho bits, like about to gag on it, but I don't want to crunch again because I don't want the people next to me here. So I'm in there feasting on a smorgasbord because it's one of the greatest feelings on earth, being just covered in piles of food and drinks in the darkness while you're watching a movie. But at the same time, I truly am trying to be extremely polite because I realize I'm like, man, this person next, I didn't know they were going to be right next to me. And, you know, when I buy a ticket, I try to buy a ticket away from as many people as possible. And suddenly I know they're dealing with pizza fumes. So anyway, while I support buying concessions wholeheartedly, I would say to my fellow people out there, maybe think of some of the people that don't appreciate the odors and the noises involved with consuming some of these products, and be as considerate as you can, okay? And let's all enjoy the movie together. That's what it's all about. That's one of the most beautiful things about being in a movie theater, Huber. Not just the comfort of the darkness seeing a movie in your own, but also the camaraderie of being next to people that in other parts of life, in daily life, you may not only not agree with, you may be polar opposites. You know, they used to allow smoking cigarettes in the theater. Can you imagine that, Hubert? Just trying to enjoy a movie while someone's blowing a stogie down your back. But seriously, it's a beautiful thing for everyone to sit in the theater in peace. Okay? People of many walks of life, hopefully. Let's try to be peaceful and courteous and enjoy going to the movie theater together, because it's one of the best things anyone can do. All right, I got to sign off. This is the longest one ever because I don't win very often, so I'm excited because I'm back on the boards. And with that, I'm going to give the wave race sign off until I come up with something better. Remember, everybody, you are a great racer.
I don't have time to grind and die and repeat for anything less than greatness.